offensive line. So defense set the tone early. Chaparral, Southeast won the toss. Chaparral is taking the ball, so I think you get a good stance on defense to start this game.
Yeah, Southeast deferred. They're going to take the wind that right now, as we view Gene Bissell Field, that wind is blowing at the back straight out of the north. When that cold front came through last night, that made it a north wind. And Wyatt Boyd has his hand in the air. He is ready to kick it off to start this game for Southeast of Saline. Boyd will angle kick over to the left-hand side. Roadrunners there, take it at 21. Angling to the left to the 25-30. 35, a little bit of space there, and the Jace Van Amberg there to make the arrest at the 37-yard line. That's where Chaparral and the Roadrunners will start out. As you said, Austin Clark, kind of Mr. Everything on this Roadrunner team. He is their starting quarterback. He was the starting running back last season. So far this year, 99 of 170 throwing the football, 1,346 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. He averages 168 yards per game passing, but he's also their leading rusher on the season, 784 yards on 107 carries. Trojans start out here on defense, looking at Clark and this Roadrunner offense that starts out 5 wide receivers, 3 on the right-hand side. They'll throw bubble screen over to that side, a Roadrunner catch behind the line of scrimmage, and the Roadrunners will surge ahead to get about 1.5 yards on first down.
And you notice the first person out of the gate right there to make initial contact was defensive end Trevor Keller. Did a great job of running down the line of scrimmage, parallel with the line, able to get first contact on to bring up short gain.
First gain goes for 2 yards over to the right-hand side. There is a threat on the outside. It's Jackson Swartz. He is the leading receiver on this Roadrunner team. He's on the left-hand side. He is 6'6". And right now, Michael Murray and all his athleticism getting him on the left-hand edge of this Roadrunner offense. Here's Clark straight up the middle. He's going to break midfield, run across that K-Dub Coyote, and be brought down in Southeast of Saline territory at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 12 for the Roadrunners, who want to go hurry up here, no huddle, and get this going quickly against the Southeast of Saline defense.
Yeah, pretty simple play call there. Just spread them out wide, one step, tuck the ball, run right up the middle with a huge hole right there to bring up first down.
Opening drive of the contest. Roadrunners, if you're viewing on SalinaPost.com on live stream video, they are wearing white tops, blue pants. Southeast of Saline tonight opting for their purple jerseys, white pants, here in this playoff matchup. It's the round of 16. Clark fakes the screen. Now he comes back underneath. This will be Jackson Schwartz. He's angling from the midfield stripe, now out to the right-hand side, and will get about 4 yards on the play as he worked his way to the Southeast of Saline 41-yard line.
And it's hard to miss that guy running across the middle at 6'6". He can't really sneak in behind anybody. A great job there by the Southeast defense to corral for a short gain.
From the 41,
Monday and Keller on the stop for Southeast.
It'll be 2nd down and 6. Chaparral running no huddle, but most of the time, but really not in a hurry, if that is fair to say. 2nd down and 6. Here comes the blitz. Cameron Whitty in on Clark, the quarterback. He dumps it over the top, and a big stand there by the second level of the Southeast of Saline defense, holding this game to just 1 yard for the Roadrunners. Out on the edge that time, looked like Jack Francis in on the reception.
Yeah,
1 yard on the play.
Mac Chambers read that extremely well from his linebacker spot, was able to be out there first, make him have to make 2 or 3 moves, and by that time the rest of the defense was there to make a great tackle.
Big 3rd down. It's a 3rd down and 5 for the Roadrunners. They're sitting at the Southeast of Saline 39-yard line. Opening drive of the contest. Southeast of Saline's defense trying to stand up here. 2 wide receivers to the right. They will hand it off inside to Aiden Guy. Guy straight ahead. He's going to be short of the first down as he is brought down at the 35-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th down and 1. Very short 4th down situation here for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, I think you make an easy call here. I mean, you're in the spot of the field where you got to go for it. The Roadrunners come in averaging 6 yards a carry on the year.
4th and 1. They're going to try to string it out to the right-hand side, and it will be stopped immediately. In on the play, cornerback Jake Gebhardt came in. He was not threatened by the pass at all, and Jake comes in and makes a big play on defense to get the stop for Southeast of Saline.
And I think that's exactly what you want to do if you're Southeast. You come out, and, yeah, they get a few plays and drive down the field, but it goes back to that bend-don't-break mentality. A team averaging 6 yards a carry needed a long 1 yard right there and unable to get it.
Southeast with the football. The offense is out now, and they are ready to go from their own 36-yard line. Here is Luke Gebhardt, wants to try the middle. Now he's going to bounce it out to the left. Has 5 yards at the 40, 45, 50, still on his feet. Tightrope blocking the sideline, and he's going to move it in to Roadrunner territory just barely. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 50-yard line, and that will be a gain of 14 for Luke Gebhardt on first down.
And an excellent block by Tucker Thaxton out there on the outside. Just an absolute pancake on the cornerback.
50-yard line, first down and 10. Luke Gebhardt knocking off 14 yards on the first play of the game for the Trojans. Loaded up on the right-hand side with receivers. They're going to put the bubble down on the follow-up screen. Everybody went downfield on a fly. Landon Allen leaked out of the backfield, and he will catch a pass that will go for 4 yards. 1 of 1 passing the football here on the first pass of the game for Luke Gebhardt, and he has found what lately has been his favorite target, Landon Allen.
Yeah, and Landon Allen showed incredible speed on the outside on those little bubble routes out there, and that was a great play by the outside defender, Joe Ord for Chaparral. Read that extremely well. Great open field tackle.
We're going to spot Landon Allen down at the 47. That'll go as a gain of 3 now. Second down and 7. Here is the fake to Michael Murray. Now Murray does have the football. Shakes off what looked like a face mask, and he's going to plant his legs, surge ahead to just short of the 45-yard line on that play. A gain of 1.5 for Michael Murray.
Yeah, and I think Joe Ord just made another great tackle right there coming across the line of scrimmage. So set up 3rd and long now for the first time for Southeast tonight.
Football setting at the Roadrunner 46-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side. Jake Gebhardt by himself on the near side. Luke rolling that way, puts it in the air. That ball's going to be broken up at the 35-yard line, and a really good defensive play there by Chaparral defensive back Kyler Smith. He was all over that play. Great film study by Kyler Smith during the week, knowing what Southeast of Saline likes to go to on a must-convert situation.
Yeah, and we see a lot of that double receiver stack, and both of them runs a deep out, one runs a shorter out, and both of them were extremely well covered right there by the Chaparral defense.
At the 46, it's 4th down and 7. Southeast of Saline looking like they might go for it here. They have the wind at their back with 7:36 left to go. Pistol formation, freezing directly behind Luke Gebhardt. Fake on the run handoff. Luke rolling out. Goes down the middle of the field, and Michael Murray climbs the ladder and brings it down at the 33-yard line. Move the chains for Southeast of Saline. It's a gain of 13 on 4th and 7.
Michael Murray, about 6 foot tall, playing like he's 6'8" right there. Just a great job of finding open space. Was on a deep route, settled down right in the middle of the field, and a great catch by Michael Murray.
Football setting now at the 32-yard line. A new set of downs for the Trojans. Southeast of Saline shaded to the right-hand hash. They're going to turn, give it to Friesen. His first carry. Nate looking for some space, and there is none. He will get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Nate Friesen had a heck of a night last week. He took off 4 touchdowns in the first half of play. Second time that he's done that year. He also done that this year. He also did it in week number 2 at Beloit.
Yeah, he's coming into this game with 785 yards, a 6.9 carry average. Just ridiculous numbers for first-year running back Nate Friesen.
That's why that play we just saw is not typical of the Southeast of Saline offense. Friesen usually gets positive yardage. Second down and 10. Friesen leaks out of the backfield this time. Luke Gebhardt wants it all. Going to the left-hand side, it's Tucker Thaxton. He's going to make the play. Somehow Tucker got free all by himself, and just the pass and the completion was good enough in this wind all the way down to the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 27 yards for Tucker Thaxton.
And I think that ball hung up in the air forever, and Tucker was so wide open, just stood there and waited on it, and then the wind kind of carried it towards the out-of-bounds line.
Here's Friesen dancing around in the backfield, trying to get around Roadrunners. He's going to surge ahead and be brought down at the 3-yard line on a gain of 2, his second carry of the night. Boy, what a play there. And good job by Luke to spot him out there all by himself. That was the right play to make.
Yeah, he was looking that way the whole time, but I think he wanted to go across the middle. But when Tucker Thaxton, everybody went with the inside receiver, and Tucker's just standing over there wide open, nobody within 30 yards of him.
Second goal from the 3 for Southeast of Saline. 6:05 left to go here in the first quarter. Opening drive for Southeast. Here's Gebhardt rolling out, looking into the end zone. Little hesitation, stutter step. He throws the defender, and he scores. Luke Gebhardt was sprinting out to the right-hand side. He tapped the brake, then got back on the accelerator, downshifted, and got in to the right-hand corner of the front end zone. Touchdown, Southeast of Saline. It's Luke Gebhardt from 3 yards away.
And Luke with his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. His numbers kind of lopsided from last year. A lot of rushing touchdowns. Now number 12 ties his total from all of last year.
Southeast going for two. Fake the end around to Murray. Now into the end zone. Landon Allen is camped out, and he will catch it for a 2-point conversion. First exchange of possessions. Things go well for Southeast of Saline with 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Trojans lead at 8-0 over the Chaparral Roadrunners. You're listening and watching on SalinaPost.com to live stream video brought to you by Everhart Precision Ag here on
The
KIA.
Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back here to the campus of Kansas Wesleyan. Devin Haney, also Russ Kossel. We have Tyler Henry on the field. We'll go down to him after this Wyatt Boyd kick. Your scoring recap on that scoring drive. A 3-yard touchdown run by Luke Gebhardt. 2-point pass to Landon Allen was good. Key play of the drive was a 27-yard completion from Luke to Tucker Thaxton. That scoring play drive recap brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms. Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd, angling left again, taken by the Roadrunners again at the 21-yard line, and the return is on. Here comes the return. Joe Ord looking for the left-hand corner. He's going to bring it all the way out past the 40-yard line, gets to the 44, and brought down there where Chaparral will have good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, and Joe Ord's having himself a really good first quarter. Couple great returns there to start the drives for Chaparral, and had really good defense on that last drive. See if Southeast cannot give up the big run and the big play up the middle. So far, Chaparral wanting to go to the outside a little bit.
Roadrunners are trying to stretch the outside, not only on their returns, but also offensively. We'll see how that works out for them. Usually, Southeast of Saline reacts pretty well to stringing it out. Tyler, I whiffed on that. I'll come to you here after this first down play. 5:51 left to go here in the first quarter. Here's the play action. Clark wanting to go deep. Over the middle of the field, it's picked off Daniel Kerr. Danny Kerr has an interception, and he's going to take it across the 50 to the 49. Daniel Kerr on first down takes one away. Austin Clark threw it to the middle of the field, and there he found Daniel Kerr for this Southeast of Saline defense.
Well, and guys, this is interesting too. Austin Clark was the defender that Luke Gebhardt put the brakes on just in front of to get into the end zone. So I wondered if it was going to be in his back of his mind a little bit. You wonder if maybe he tried to force something after giving that up, and now he makes a bigger mistake.
Southeast of Saline quickly back on the field. They're starting at the 50. Here's a fake of a pass out to the right-hand side. Now a fumble that's being batted around, and I think Gebhardt came up to get that fumble along with Landon Allen. Gebhardt will secure it, and it will be a loss of 1 for Southeast of Saline. So a little dicey thing there. We expected that. This turf, even though it is an artificial surface, still very wet. There is a lot of water in there because it was raining, sprinkling, just kind of going on and off. Very beautiful right now, though. A little north wind coming through, a little crisp. Let's hope Tyler and his umbrella, that's all you have to do with that umbrella tonight is just lean on it. Second down and 11. Gebhardt will roll out to the left-hand side. Good protection. Luke, wanting Cameron Whitty at about the 25-yard line, overthrows him just a bit, and that'll bring up third down and 11 for Southeast of Saline. Protection, I don't think we talk about enough, Russ, with this Southeast of Saline offensive line. Here we are already in game number 10, and Luke Gebhardt this season has been sacked 3 times.
Yeah, and we talk about the offensive line a lot in the run game, but you're exactly right. We do not talk about them enough in the pass game. All kinds of time, whether he's rolling out left or right or staying in the pocket.
Looks more like a third down and 12 here for Southeast of Saline. They went backed up on that fumble that they recovered of their own possession to the 48-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the left-hand side. Design run. Gebhardt wants to keep it. He's going to angle off to the left. Now get in the second level. He'll be inside the 45-yard line to about the 43. That will be a gain of about 9 yards, but not enough. It'll be 4th and short here for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and I think so far maybe it might be the line of scrimmage right now kind of being won by Chaparral, especially on the defensive side. Southeast unable to get that run going game, but they can lean on the pass as well.
4th down and 3. Gebhardt rolling out, wants to go to the angle. He puts one over the shoulder this time of Michael Murray. What a beautiful pitch and catch. Gebhardt to Murray, and once again on 4th down, Michael Murray comes up big. He has it just inside of the 25-yard line on a gain that time of 18.
And the chemistry these two have, you almost wonder if Lucas looking for that security blanket of number 9 on 4th down. That is the second 4th down catch now for Michael Murray.
2 4th down conversions, a total of 31 yards. Here's a pitch out. Friesen has it at the 20, looking for some space, and he'll be brought down right there after a gain of 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Trojans lead it early, 8-0, with 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I think he tried to make one more cut there, and the turf might have jumped up and bought him a little bit there, but the best run we've seen tonight from Southeast.
Trojans knocking on the door of the can-equipped red zone here with a 2nd down and 5. Gebhardt wanting to pass. Pump fake, still looking. Eyes downfield. Now he's going to run inside of the 20-yard line. He's going to step out of bounds right at the sticks. The markers are on the other side, but it looks like Gebhardt should have that first down by about a yard. Looks like he was driven out of bounds about the 14.
And early in the year, that's something we seen Gebhardt throw the ball down the field, scrambling out, close situations like that. That's where a lot of his interceptions came early. Coming into this game was 10 interceptions. A lot of those early on in the season on plays just like that. That one, a great job of tucking and running.
At the 14-yard line, it's 1st down and 10 for Southeast of Saline. Handoff on the jet sweep, Michael Murray. Murray negotiating his way through traffic will be brought down at the 10 after a gain of 4. His second carry of the night.
Another good pickup on 1st down. This drive now starting, you get a couple, minus the fumble on the first play. Now set yourself up on better and 2nd and manageable. That way, if you only get 3 or 4 yards, it's 3rd down and real short and not 3rd and long like they put themselves in early.
2nd down and about 6, it looks like. Football sitting just outside of the 10-yard line. 2 wide receivers on each side. Now Friesen comes in motion. Fake handoff there. Gebhardt wants to run it. He's going to be lassoed and tied up in the backfield. Still manages to make his way forward to about the line of scrimmage and looks like he's going to avoid a big loss on that play and bring up now 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, that was all Luke right there. It took everything he had even to get back to the line of scrimmage. Right now, if you're Chaparral, you got to be feeling somewhat confident that you have stopped this very potent run game.
Clock continues to roll. 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter of play. 3rd down and 6 for Southeast of Saline. Here's the snap back to Gebhardt. Rolling out, looking to the right, wants to go to the end zone. It's off the hands of Murray. Michael was sitting right at the goal line on the right-hand side of the field, and a defender came in, slapped that football away. Now another 4th down coming up for the Trojans.
And that ball a little too hot for Murray to come up and grab. Just a little bit too much smoke behind that one, but he had to, or else it would have been picked off by the defender in front.
Looks like the Trojans dialing up another 4th down play here. They've already had 2 very big 4th down conversions in this game. Those 2, though, came at midfield. This one with a scoring opportunity from the 10-yard line. 4th down and 6. Gebhardt rolling out right-hand side. Little pump fake. Now he's going to keep it. Cruising to the 5, inside of the 5, and then brought down there very close to a 1st down as the official eyeballs it clear across the field, and he's going to say 1st and goal, Trojans, after a gain of 7.
Yeah, and I think Luke right there knew exactly where he had to get on that play, because if he doesn't dive forward for that extra yards going out of bounds, they do come up short.
It's an option play, right? If you come get me, I will pass to the open receiver that you just left. If you stay where you're at, I'm going to run it.
And if they come late and come up late, Luke has already made the decision to run, and he can see the 1st down and know exactly where he has to get.
1st down and goal. Trojans trying to take advantage of this wind that they have blowing at their back from the 4-yard line. New set of downs after that Luke Gebhardt run. Luke wants to try it again, following Landon Allen in, and Landon paves the way for Luke Gebhardt's touchdown, his 2nd of the game. This one comes from 4 yards away.
He's done just a phenomenal job by the offensive line, and we saw this a lot, Devin, up in Beloit, that they would get a lot of 1st and goal, 2nd and goal inside the 5-yard line. Friesen had 3 or 4 touchdowns that game, and every one of them was inside the 5-yard line. So their can-equipped red zone offense is absolutely phenomenal this year, as it looks like we're going to see the swinging gate for the first time tonight.
Gate set up, heavy to the left. Landon Allen will be the center. He'll snap it back to Luke Gebhardt, who has Danny Kerr and Jake Gebhardt to his right. Luke will take the direct snap, meets a defender right at the goal line, and a 2-leg takedown by a Chaparral Roadrunner denies Luke Gebhardt. That was right at the goal line, a meeting of the minds between Joe Ord and Luke Gebhardt, and Luke denied, but the score remains 14-0, Southeast of Saline. 2:08 left to go here in the first quarter. You're listening and watching on SalinaPost.com to live stream video brought to you by Everhart Precision Ag.
1, 2, 3, 5.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for rural property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
An interception by Daniel Kerr turns into a touchdown for Southeast of Saline after they go down the field, convert yet another fourth down conversion. They have three fourth down conversions so far. We'll go down to Tyler Henry, get his thoughts after this kick by Wyatt Boyd. Boyd has been angling it to his left-hand side at about the 20-yard line, does the same here, although he drives Chaparral back to about the 17. Here comes the return man. Once again, it's going to be Joe Ord. And Ord, not such a great return this time as he gets out to the 30. Here's Tyler.
Yeah, guys, early on here, it seems like Chaparral struggling a little bit against the Southeast of Saline passing attack. I know SES wants to establish the run, but it seems like they've got two guys open on every single one of these. Crisp, clean routes for SES. On the flip side, Austin Clark, again, he was the defender that gave up the touchdown to Luke. He was the guy that threw the pick. Mentally, he needs a bounce-back drive. This is a big one for Chaparral.
Yeah, and as we talked about in pregame, Austin Clark is everything, it seems like, statistically for this Roadrunner team.
We'll have an update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard after this play.
2:01 left to go here, first quarter. Southeast of Saline out to an early 14-0 lead. Defense back on the field for the Trojans. Chaparral set up in the shotgun. They have three wide receivers, a trip set to the left-hand side, and a receiver on the right left early. The tailback might have also left early for the Roadrunners, and they will take a 5-yard penalty here.
I mentioned it before this game started. The winner of this game will get the winner of Russell at Hoisington. Late first quarter, Hoisington 7, Russell 3. So great battle going on.
Got a Bronco field goal in there, huh?
Yeah, on a windy night like this.
Yeah. The game being played in Cardinal Country down in Hoisington. Also an artificial surface, so I'm sure their jerseys are nice and clean and white, making all the moms happy.
Oh, of course it is.
Back to the 24, where it's 1st and 15. Movement again up front. And this may be Southeast of Saline giving that yardage back. And no, it is once again against the Roadrunners, who now have shot themselves in the foot 2 times in a row and cost themselves 10 yards of 1st down and 20.
And I almost wonder about this because I've seen the coaching staff talking to one of the officials, and it's almost like they saw something in the motion where the receiver is coming towards the line of scrimmage instead of going laterally down with it.
They have backed themselves up now to their own 19, where it's 1st and 20. Austin Clark trying to get his offense in sync here, and another flag. Holy cow, 3 in a row.
Okay,
I think you're right, Russ.
And this one's caused by the defensive line. We saw this the last few weeks. The defensive line, when the offense gets set, they are shifting left or shifting right, and it's almost in unison. They move at the exact same time. And those receivers, it was a receiver once again, as soon as they shifted left, that receiver right over top of him kind of leaned forward, never took a step, but definitely hesitated to move.
Back to the 14 now, where it's 1st and 25. Everybody looking over at the bench, seeing if the play has changed after they have dug themselves a 15-yard hole on top of a 1st down and 10. Clark wants the snap. He's going to hand it off on a little bit of delay. This will go nowhere. Caden Isaacson in there filling the hole, meeting Aiden Guy and introducing himself for no gain on the play.
And I'm not sure if you're Chaparral, if you're going to leave a guy unblocked, you really shouldn't leave any of them unblocked, but number 55 is probably not one of the ones I would be on the top of the list.
Him and the guy that he hangs out with there in the middle of the field that wears 56, I would probably want to get somebody on them. 2nd down and 25 now. Again, Chaparral running the no-huddle, but they're not really in a hurry-up offense.
And that's a nod to this defensive line. We've talked about it. Those 3 guys up front are taking all 5 offensive linemen, so it is allowing Isaacson and Chambers to come free and unblocked to stop the run.
Roadrunners have the play clock all the way down to 0, and now they will take a timeout and talk about a 2nd and 25 with 1:12 left to go here in the first quarter. Trojans leading the Roadrunners 14-0 here on KINA.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Saline Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Saline Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit SalineOrtho.com. Saline Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here in Salina on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan University, Gene Bissell Field hosting this playoff game in what I call the round of 16. I know the state has a lot of fancy names for them, but to me it just makes sense and everybody's on the same page if you just say how many teams come into the night and then how many teams are left at the end of the night.
Yeah, it's
fair?
Just simple it down for everybody.
Yeah. Second down and 25 at the 14-yard line for the Roadrunners. Empty backfield. Clark throws the bubble over the head of the intended receiver out here on the edge, and that's going to be Joe Ord. Tyler, let's come down to you. I just think that this Roadrunner team, all of a sudden, man, they are way out of sync here, aren't they?
I mean, they're out of sync. They understand they've got a long way to go, but on the other hand, they haven't really established that passing game yet, and there is a little bit of disorder right now up front. They had that last play well blocked, but if you're going to run the no huddle, I don't see why you don't try to speed it up a little bit. You give Southeast of Saline this much time to think, that's a dangerous proposition for an offense.
And you can plan all you want, but those three up front, Johnson, Keller, and Monday, they're always going to shift right before the snap and give you a little bit of doubt of your blocking schemes. They do not shift this time. Clark wanting to run, and he is arrested in the backfield by a host of Trojans. A purple party in the backfield led by Trevor Keller.
Yeah, just a phenomenal job by number 61, Trevor Keller, right there. Doing a great job of coming off not one block, but a double-team swim move right through them to get the ankles of the quarterback, and a great job staying once again for this defense.
4th and 25, and now Chaparral has to punt into this wind, and it is a substantial wind. When you look at the American flag right behind them, it is fully horizontal, blowing away from the pole. And two Southeast of Saline players standing at the 50 won't see this punt unless it's off the bounce. And it does take a beautiful Roadrunner bounce all the way back inside of the 45-yard line and will be whistled dead between the 42 and 43. But still good field position here for the Trojans as they come out to start their third possession of the game.
Yeah, Chaparral really kind of killed themselves on that drive with back-to-back penalties, setting up first and forever. So a great job by the punting unit right there to get this one down into the wind. He kept it low, a nice tight spiral, got a great roll off of it. Now the Southeast offense comes back.
Trojans all ready to go here from their own 42-yard line. Low snap. Gebhardt has to pick it up off the turf after it hit his hands, and then he's going to take a runner just short of the 45-yard line and a gain of 2. That'll bring up second down and 8. So far, Luke Gebhardt, 7 carries, 45 yards, and 2 touchdowns here. He has both the touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, and that looks like that play right now will bring us to the end of the first.
End of 1. You're listening on KINA and also watching on live stream video with the radio broadcast paired with video. It's brought to you by Everhart Precision Ag right here on KINA.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Early back from the break here, Southeast of Saline throws it out to the right-hand side. Luke Gebhardt finding Jake Gebhardt out on the edge on the right-hand sideline. That play started at the 45, went across the 50 to the 49, and a 6-yard gain will bring up 3rd down and 2.
That being Jake's first catch tonight, 36th on the year, averaging 10.7 yards a catch, so most of his yards down the field.
Here's the run, straight up the middle. Daniel Kerr this time will take it as he scampers to the 44. I like it. Another wrinkle in the Southeast of Saline offense with Danny Kerr running the football. He gets the first down to the Roadrunner 44.
And I don't know many times this year, Devin, if we've seen Friesen and Danny Kerr in the backfield at the same time. And now you got another one. It looked like maybe Landon Allen in the backfield as well.
It's terrifying. Here's Kerr off the right-hand side of the 40. Stutter step, stumbling for the first down, trying to break another tackle, and he will have a gain of 11 on the play. A brand new formation by Southeast of Saline here on offense, and it's, gosh, what would you call that, a Ferrari package? That is terrifying in the backfield.
Yeah, there's, championship speed on the track team in the backfield right now, so it is just scary with all three, really 4 when you include Luke on the field as well.
First down and 10 after Kerr's long carry there of 12 yards. Here's the give once again. This one's going to be Daniel Kerr. Stutter steps, bounces outside, inside the 25. He might have dropped the football there at the end of the play. Caden Isaacson went diving in, and he's going to save the day for Southeast of Saline at the 24-yard line.
And that just shows the effort that this offensive line gives. Doesn't quit on a play. They're driving guys down the field as Daniel Kerr is still running behind them.
It was a gain of 10. Same package. A lot of talent in the backfield. Here's play action. Luke wanted to throw. Now he's looking. Everybody covered downfield. Now at the last minute, he's going to try to throw a laser into the hands of Jake Gebhardt, who was in the middle of the field, and a very good defensive play by free safety Jack Francis for Chaparral.
Another scoring update on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Russell takes the lead 9-7 now over Hoisington.
That Bronco team is a lot better than the Broncos that we're kind of used to.
A lot better.
6-3 coming into the night. A lot of people didn't give him a chance tonight against Hoisington. Here's the fake handoff to Nate Friesen. Now inside the can-equipped red zone goes Luke Gebhardt. Had a couple of blockers out in front of him, including center Caden Isaacson. And he will be brought down at the 18-yard line after a gain of 6.
And that was a great read by Luke right there. The defenders all went with Nate Friesen on the outside, and he pulled it in and was able to get up for positive yards, get inside the can-equipped red zone to bring down 3rd and manageable.
This has been a running drive for Southeast of Saline. 3rd down and 4 at the 18-yard line. Knocking on the door, trying to get more points. Gebhardt under pressure this time. Throws it, finds a receiver out on the right, and brought down at the 8-yard line. Gebhardt found his target this time, and downfield, we don't see a lot of catches, but it's Nate Friesen bringing the ball in at the 8, and it's a gain of 10.
Yeah, that coming in, that's now Nate Friesen's just his 5th catch on the year, so you got this what we were going to brand as the Ferrari package right now.
But you think about the other 4, they were screens. Usually we don't see him out running routes. He did there. Another new wrinkle by this Southeast offense. 1st and goal from the 8. Still 3 guys in the backfield around Luke Gebhardt for a total of 4. Here's Daniel Kerr breaking tackles and breaking hearts all the way down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. He is quite the runner. We knew that from the quarterback spot, but now he's taking handoffs, Russ, and showing out here as he drives the Southeast of Saline team down towards the goal line.
But if you're a defense and you come into this game and you've never seen it, what do you do? How do you stop this?
I'm surprised the Roadrunners haven't called a timeout, like back at midfield. I really am. Because you know they haven't seen this on film. Here's Friesen stretching it out to the right-hand side. Contact about his knees. He's going to plunge ahead and try to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's actually going to gain 1.5 yards on this play. And that'll bring up 3rd down and goal. Football sitting just inside of the 4-yard line between the 3 and the 4.
Danny Kerr coming out now. Tucker Thaxton coming into the game, a wide receiver on the near side of the field.
Again, football just inside of the 4. 3rd down and goal. 8:39 left to play here, 2nd quarter. Southeast of Saline leading Chaparral 14-0. Southeast with a long stare over here at their bench. Luke Gebhardt talking to his coaching staff, and they're going to burn a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. Trojans want to talk about it. 8:24 left to go here before halftime. They lead at 14-0 and looking for more here on KINA.
Can Equip's annual Service Advantage preseason repair and optimization program is going on now. Get the best inspection pricing of the year, as Can Equip held 2021 inspection pricing. Extended parts warranties, special financing offers, and instant rebates may also apply. Schedule your equipment service today at Can Equip in Salina. Terms and conditions apply.
Can Equip you.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back. I want to thank all of our sponsors of Southeast of Saline Sports, including tonight's presenting sponsors, Everhart Precision Ag. Matt and the guys, they'll hook you up. Not only soil sampling, but also your channel seedsman. Give them a call. Keep it local, close to the farm with Everhart Precision Ag. I want to thank them for helping bring live stream video of tonight's contest here, Southeast of Saline, in Salina, on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan, hosting the Chaparral Roadrunners. So far, it is 14-0, Southeast of Saline, 8:24 left to go, second quarter. Third down and goal from the 4-yard line. Southeast out of the timeout. More traditional set here. Two receivers left-hand side. Luke wants to roll that way. He's going to raise up, throw off the gloves of Michael Murray, incomplete. That'll bring up yet another fourth down for Southeast at 4th and goal.
Yeah, and Murray had a step right there, but Luke had to get rid of that ball quick as a defender was bearing down on him and chasing Murray down from the backside, and Murray unable to corral that one. Hopefully they can convert on yet another fourth down.
They have converted already on 3 very crucial fourth down plays on their way to 2 touchdowns. 2 of them were at midfield. 1 of them was in the red zone in the first quarter. From the right hash, Murray and Jake Gebhardt over on the short side of the field. They want to throw back this way. It's going to be Friesen. Has a couple of blockers out in front, and he's going to go right between those blockers. Wade Rutherford also out there on the edge with Nathan Weller and Caden Isaacson. So more of a traditional Southeast Trojan lineup there, as we saw Nathan Weller back in at center. Isaacson and Rutherford helping lay the blocks for Nate Friesen on the screenplay. Touchdown Trojans.
Yeah, just a phenomenal play call right there. That thing set up way to the right, and just one Chaparral Roadrunner out here and just took one block to spring him free.
Going for 2 now. Luke rolling out to the right-hand side, running out of space. He's going to put it way up in the air. Jake Gebhardt went up, tried to bring it down, and cannot. And Southeast of Saline comes away empty on the 2-point conversion. 8:13 left to go here, second quarter. Trojans score again. Southeast of Saline leads it 20-0 here on KINA.
Citizens State Bank has been serving Kansans for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizens State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizens State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizens State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Curious to get the thoughts of Tyler Henry down on the sidelines after this Wyatt Boyd kick. We will do that after Boyd puts it in the air for the first time against the wind as he kicks into that north wind. Trojans lead it 20-0. The pass from Luke Gebhardt to Nate Friesen. 3 yards, little screen play. Kind of a drag screen after a throwback to the left-hand side of the field. Well-designed play. 20-0 now Trojans with 8:13 left to go before halftime. That is your Phillips Seed Farms scoring drive recap. Here's Boyd with the kick, angling still to the left. This one's going to hit a wall of wind, though, and come down about the 25-yard line. Taken by Kyler Smith for the Roadrunners, and he broke a couple of tackles. He'll make his way out to the 40-yard line. Tyler, what's your thoughts there on that brand-new formation for Southeast?
I love the package, Devin. Honestly, I mean, you look at what Southeast did well. They were able to pass the ball effectively. Chaparral had done a good job of covering up the run, but I'm with you. You put that much talent on the field, you give yourself that many options, you make a defense start to second-guess, and we've also talked about this. This team has not been down except for one game this season to Kingman, so there's no precedent for this for Chaparral. They need to score right now or it's going to be a long night.
And right now, things tightening up a little bit. It also seems a little bit like Southeast of Saline just had the football forever, doesn't it?
Yeah, and when you come up on just 4-play drives on their last 2 and had to get rid of it, well, 1-play drive with the interception.
Empty backfield here. Low snap to quarterback Austin Clark. He's looking for some space, and he will plunge ahead to get 2 yards rushing. His third carry of the game so far, 15 yards. Remember, the first play of the game went for 13 yards.
And I don't know. I'm with Tyler. With the Chaparral team not being down except for one game, I don't know if they're built to come back. They had a close game with a 10-7 win over Garden Plain, so not really meant to come from behind, it doesn't sound like.
That first play of this drive, just the 11th offensive play ran by the Roadrunners here in this game so far. 2nd down and 8. 3 wide receivers, right-hand side. Clark with the play action, looking that way. Here comes the heat. Cameron Whitty and company, and there's going to be laundry all over the field here as Clark was stepping up. I saw Whitty coming, Josiah Monday coming up the middle, and Trevor Keller coming as well. 3 guys from that first base 4 of the Southeast of Saline defense coming in and caving in on Austin Clark.
And I think that's going to go down. You look at film on that, watch that play again. He had all kinds of time in the pocket. They created a great pocket for him. He stepped up. Secondary did a phenomenal job down the field. And I hate to break it to you, if you're Chaparral, you're not going to hold them front 3 of Keller, Monday, and Slade Johnson off for very long.
Don't forget about their bonus guy, Cameron Whitty. Again, we don't ever know where he's going to be. He's like the ghost out there. He just kind of floats around and then appears when it's time to make tackles. Here's Clark, a little pump fake. He's heated up again by Slade Johnson, has to leave the pocket, and there's Cameron Whitty out there tackling him right at what would have been the original line of scrimmage. It's a short gain that time of about 6 yards, and still 4th down and 9.
And it looks like Chaparral's going to go into punt formation here.
Apologize, we'll give him 8 on that play. Said he made it out to the 41-yard line. So punt formation again. I'm a little shaky here on this because Austin Clark, the quarterback, is also the punter for Chaparral, but they do have the wind at their back, and they could uncork a good one here, snapping it back to Clark for the punt. Good helmet high snap. Clark, a low line driver. He didn't take advantage of that wind. It's going to bounce to Gebhardt at the 25-yard line. 35, 40, 52 blockers out in front. Luke Gebhardt eyeing his blockers. He's going to split them and house this ball. Luke Gebhardt has it set on cruise control as he goes in for a touchdown of 73 yards for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, you called it. You got to take advantage of the wind. That ball has to get up in the air, and that was an absolute missile straight down the field. Luke caught it off of one hop. The return was already set up by the time he had the ball. There was 2 great blocks here, about the 40 and the 50 at midfield, and then just the punter left a beat, and with 2 guys in front, I'm going to take that battle all day long. A phenomenal special teams play by this Southeast of Saline Trojan.
Southeast set up to go for 2. Gebhardt, a couple of fake handoffs, still has it in his right hand. Rolling out, throws a little lollipop over to the right-hand side where Landon Allen will catch it for a 2-point conversion. Trojans strike again, just 2 minutes and 2 seconds between touchdowns. They lead now 28-0 with 6:11 left to go here in the second quarter. It's Trojan football on KINA.
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braces, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Your Phillips Seed Farm scoring play, not a drive. Luke Gebhardt, a 73-yard punt return, took it off the bounce, went all the way down the field. He had 2 mini blockers, if there is such a thing, was able to split one of them and able to get it into the end zone. The first special teams touchdown for Luke Gebhardt this season as Wyatt Boyd kicks it away. It will be taken over on the right-hand side of the field, and a big hit by Southeast of Saline. Returning the football was Joe Ord, and he was destroyed just short of the 30-yard line. Tyler Henry, you're getting a good look at the action right in front.
Devin, I got some interesting news for you on that. That actually wasn't a big hit by a Southeast of Saline Trojan. He came full speed into the backside of one of his own players.
Ooh.
And that's just the kind of night that it's been for Chaparral so far. They came out and started this game exceptionally well, I thought. But again, this Southeast of Saline team just wears you down.
Thank you very much, Tyler. That is, you're supposed to use those guys for blockers, not as tacklers. Chaparral now back at their own 29-yard line to start this drive. So far, they have been held scoreless. Here comes a man in motion. It's Aiden Guy. Clark will keep it. Wanting to negotiate his way up the field, he will get to the 34 on a gain of 5. That is the most productive play that Chaparral has had here in this second quarter.
Yeah, not many yards. They went forward on first down this time, so at least they didn't go back 25 yards before the drive started. But the only positive play really they've had tonight against this Southeast team is running it up the middle.
From the 34, second down and 5 for the Roadrunners. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Aiden Guy, the running back in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Look out, Isaacson just misses. Clark squirts out to the left, and then he is upended by Mac Chambers and company. Mac had a bunch of people in his sidecar with him. The main guy on that play that I saw was Landon Allen, and they are bringing the house right now defensively, are the Trojans.
Yeah, Isaacson timed that snap absolutely perfect right at the snap of the ball. I mean, he was beyond the line of scrimmage before the ball, about the same time it hit the quarterback, Austin Clark's hand, and just no time for that play to develop. So a great play call on second down by this defense.
Loss of 3 on the play will now bring up third down and 8. Clock continues to roll. Inside 5 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side, 2 to the left. It's a full complement of 5 wideouts for the Roadrunners. Here comes the blitz again. Isaacson tried to get through. They're going to dump it off, and it's going to be held just short. They got it to Aiden Guy, and the spot with the officials running in, boy, I don't know. And now they're waving the chains. We're looking right down the line. I'm not sure that was a first down. I thought that was an excellent job by Southeast of Saline's defense, holding him short.
Yeah, they were obviously well.
And even as they put the football down now, Russ, I didn't mean to interrupt, it looked short.
Yeah, they were held short of that. That was a great tackle. The ball was, he turned around, so the ball's facing the opposite direction and never gained any yardage after contact was made. So, nonetheless, officials spot the ball about 1.5 yards further than what it should be.
Wow. From the 39. 4:16 left to go. Clark back to pass. Little pump fake, wants it all, going down the left-hand sideline. Michael Murray up there to deflect it and break up the pass.
Yeah, he went for his big target, Jackson Schwartz, right there. Michael Murray step for step with him. Timed that just right. Schwartz had to play defender and kind of grab a hold of Murray so he wouldn't come down with that football.
Interesting conversations before the game, because we're looking at Jackson Schwartz, who's the leading receiver, 6'6", and you say, well, Jake Gebhardt's pretty tall. Do you put Jake on him? I'll tell you what you do is you put somebody that's faster than Jackson Schwartz and also can jump much higher, and that's Michael Murray. He's done a sensational job so far tonight, holding Schwartz to just 1 catch for 4 yards. Here's the pump fake again. Clark trying to get away from Caden Isaacson. He's going to break off about 10 yards and close to a first down on this play right at midfield. A gain of 11 for Clark.
And that's almost the risk-reward you run with blitzing middle linebackers right there. If they get through too fast and are unable to make that tackle and you're unable to corral them, it really frees up the middle of the field. It's wide open with only 1 linebacker left in the middle.
So even after that gain of 11 yards, Austin Clark so far here in this first half, 8 carries for 13 yards. First down and 10 from the 49. Roadrunners trying to get it on Southeast of Saline's side of the field. Clark passing over the middle, and it's going to be broken up by Mac Chambers. Incomplete.
That was a great defensive play by a middle linebacker on a guy running a drag route across the middle. Phenomenal job by Mac to wait for the ball to get there and then make contact.
That'll bring up second down and 10. Incomplete pass stops the clock. 3:45 left to go here in the second quarter. Three wide receivers to the right-hand side. Knee-high snap. Clark, little pump fake. Then he dumps it off to his back out of the backfield. That's Aiden Guy. And Guy will be spilled by Michael Murray after a gain of 6.
Yeah, Cameron Whitty read that extremely well. Was right there to make a play and then just kind of lost his footing on the turf that allowed that to spring up for a big gain.
Now we've seen a little bit of a switch here of philosophies. Chaparral trying to take advantage of Southeast of Saline's aggressiveness. Screens and quarterback runs. From the 43 into Trojan territory is Chaparral. Clark again straight up the gut, and he's going to put his nose down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 8 and a Roadrunner first down.
And I think if you're Chaparral, like Tyler said, you have to get the ball. You have to get points on this drive. With coming out in the second half, Southeast will have the ball to start.
3 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. 28-0, Southeast of Saline. First and 10 for Chaparral at the 36-yard line. Clark asking for the snap, drops back to pass. Looking right, now he's going to come back to the left. A couple of Trojans there to try to corral him. Cameron Whitty will run him out of bounds at about the 30-yard line.
Trevor Keller just had 3 offensive linemen blocking him on that play, trying to come through, and he still almost broke through the line of scrimmage, and that is what forced quarterback Austin Clark out to the far side of the field.
4-yard gain on that play. Again, Roadrunners taking their time here. 2nd down. Out to Jackson Schwartz. Caught the bubble screen. Now he breaks a tackle, and he's off and running. Boy, Schwartz has some speed as Luke Gebhardt tries to knock the ball out, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Roadrunners. 2.5 minutes left to play in the half, and Jackson Schwartz breaks out for a touchdown from 36 yards away.
And Jackson Schwartz has some breakaway speed right there. He was wrapped up right at the point of contact when he caught the ball, and he broke one tackle, broke another tackle, and then just flat out ran everybody down the sideline. So a great job by Jackson Schwartz right there.
Extra point pending. It will be Schwartz on the extra point. So far this season, he's 6 of 8 kicking the football, and there's a bunch of movement up front. See who get this one. Of course, everybody's blaming the guy across from them.
They're going to call encroachment on Southeast, so that'll move the ball up a yard. Southeast a little antsy right there to get penetration on this extra point.
Getting a wind at the back of Jackson Schwartz this time. He's kicking out of the hold of Joe Ord. Southeast again sticking their nose in there, trying to create some movement.
They're going to call offsides again.
Well, there's another 4 inches.
They're declining it. They declined the last one as well, so.
And an extra point is blocked here by the Roadrunners. So might have been posturing by Southeast of Saline, but it is effective, and a block there by Southeast of Saline. Score remains 28-6. 2:30 left to go here in the second quarter. Southeast of Saline will get the ball when we come back here on KINA.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
First score of the game for Chaparral comes with 2.5 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. And Austin Clark to Jackson Schwartz, 36-yard touchdown pass. Extra point was blocked, and that was a 10-play drive by the Roadrunners that got their first points on the board. Scoring drive brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms, 28-6. Now our score with 2.5 minutes left to go. Chaparral now lining up to kick the ball away to Southeast of Saline. And a friendly reminder that as we turn the corner and look ahead after halftime to the start of the third quarter, Southeast of Saline scheduled to start with the football.
Yeah, and I think if you're Chaparral, you're right. You had to score on that drive because if you don't score there and get stopped, the possibility of going the 2-for-1 here of Southeast, and they still can, of scoring still with 2:30 on the clock. We've seen them score plenty of times back-to-back with that much time.
Here's the Roadrunners popping it up. It goes over the head of Evan Watkins, but he does a good job running it down and then sliding to the sideline with it. It'll be spotted here just inside of the 35-yard line where Southeast of Saline has some time here. They also have 2 timeouts remaining and a chance to put more points on the board, currently leading 28-6. Going to put the football down here at the 33 for Southeast of Saline and quarterback Luke Gebhardt.
going back more to that traditional offense other than that what we're going to brand as the Ferrari package.
Here's the pistol formation. They hand it off to Friesen. He's trying to work his way through the line of scrimmage. He'll plunge ahead for a gain of 2 yards just across the 30-yard line. Friesen 5 carries, 11 yards, but also has 2 catches, 14 yards, and a touchdown in the receiving game.
Yeah, we'll see him split out wide here. It looks like they're going to go 4 wide receivers.
Heavy to the right-hand side. They have 3, now 2 to the left. Empty backfield for Luke Gebhardt. Rolling out to the right, wants to throw. Landon Allen across the 50, meets a Roadrunner at the 45, and taken down at the 44-yard line. Big play there for Southeast of Saline.
He had a great job on the rollout right there. This offensive line does a real good job on the rollout. You can't go downfield. They move laterally and have all kinds of time for Luke Gebhardt to throw the ball.
21 yards to Landon Allen. Now passing over to the left, looking for Cameron Whitty at the 40. That ball is incomplete.
Yeah, it is a good thing Luke got rid of that ball when he did, because there was an outside defensive back coming down, bearing down quick on his backside.
Southeast still in good field position here, though. 1:46 left to go. They're at the Chaparral 43-yard line. Clock stopped right now and 2 timeouts remaining. Should move back the football up here to the 44, it looks like. Loaded backfield, Landon Allen back there, try to help block. Gebhardt rolling out to the right. Had Jake down the right-hand sideline open. He was between 2 defenders. Would have had been a great pass to land that in there, but overthrown just a little bit. And Jake coming back to the huddle, patting his chest, saying, that was my fault. Might have ended that route a little bit early.
Yeah, and it looked like he kind of went to the outside and wanted to break that one up quicker than he did, and kind of got met by, ran out of room on the sideline of the far side of the field.
3rd down and 10 now for Southeast Saline at the Roadrunner 44-yard line. 4 wide receivers, left-hand side. Gebhardt rolling out. He's under pressure. He'll be hit from behind and dropped at the 50-yard line. This will be a loss on the play of 6 yards for Southeast of Saline. Tice Pfaff in on the sack for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, and Pfaff was the one that almost ran Luke down on the last play. So a great job there once again. It looks like wherever they're going to roll out, that's the side they're going to blitz from the opposite side. So a great job to run down from the backside. That's a guy they leave unblocked, as it looks like we're going to get a timeout here.
Timeout Chaparral, 1:14 left to go. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Back with the conclusion of the first half after this on KINA.
At home or on the road, K4 Garage will keep you moving. With over 12 years of mechanic experience, owner Nick Trout will diagnose and repair your engine to keep you in the game. Full-service gas, diesel, or tires. K4 Garage also has a fully stocked convenience store with snacks and drinks. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, Saturday from 9 until 3. Trust K4 Garage with keeping you on the road. And if it has oil, they can change it at K4 Garage in Gypsum.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
28-6 our score. A 4th down conversion attempt coming up for Southeast of Saline, but it looks like now after the Chaparral timeout, Trojans will put the punting unit out on the field. Luke Gebhardt has only punted the football this season 8 times. As a team, Southeast of Saline, along with an Evan Watkins punt last week, has punted it 9 times all season long. Here's the snap. Good one from Mac Chambers back to Luke Gebhardt, and Luke puts this one in an elevator shaft. It goes straight up pretty much and comes straight back down and will die at the 33-yard line, where the Roadrunners will have it there and 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, and they're going to have to change it up because only 1 timeout, and where are they going to spot it at? About the 31, so.
Yep, 31-yard line.
69 yards in 1 minute and 3 seconds.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Stay with us at halftime. We'll have scores from across the area. Also get you updated on some of the matchups, especially in Class 2A. That's just one team advanced last night in a Thursday game. All the other ones were playing tonight. First down and 10 for Chaparral. 1:03 left to go. They give the end around, and Cameron Whitty is there to end all of that on the end around. Cameron Whitty storming in and taking down Kyler Smith back at the 25-yard line. Loss of 6.
Yeah, and I think if you get a stop again right here, if you're Southeast of Saline, do you try to call a timeout, your last 2 left to stop the clock and maybe try to set up another punt return.
Clock is running, 38 seconds left to go. Austin Clark takes the shotgun snap, wants to go left-hand side again. There's his main target, Jackson Schwartz, who tried to one-hand it, coming down at about the 40-yard line. And a couple of guys in on coverage, primary coverage by Michael Murray, secondary coverage by safety Luke Gebhardt, rolling that way.
And that'll help Southeast Saline as that incomplete pass will stop the clock now. So 3rd down, if they choose to run a run play or a completed pass that is not for 1st down and 4th and long, look for Southeast maybe to get a timeout to try to set up one more punt return.
Also stick with us right at the end of the half. Tyler Henry will have comments from head coach Gebhardt. Our guy Gebhardt. Here's the direct snap and run back to Clark. Clark will take it across the 30, now be brought down at the 32. They may even give him the 33 on that play. It's an 8-yard gain for Austin Clark. His 10th carry of the first half.
And there's the timeout.
Thank you, sir. Last timeout. Oh, they got one more remaining. I apologize. So each team with one timeout remaining. Chaparral up against a 4th and 9 back at their own 33-yard line.
And Tyler, if you're Chaparral right here, do you angle punt this towards the sideline?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, with 23 seconds left, I'm not giving anybody on Southeast a chance to return this. I think you kick this one out of bounds, you don't give them a shot at returning it, and you trust your defense to make one more stop.
Michael Murray has a punt return for a touchdown this year. Luke Gebhardt has a punt return for a touchdown tonight. And those two will stand back deep. This punt by Austin Clark should be aided by the wind, but we saw on the return that Luke had for the touchdown, he didn't get the ball up enough to take advantage of that jet stream. It was a low line drive kick. Murray and Gebhardt standing back at their own 30-yard line. Max protection on here by the Roadrunners. Return on by Southeast of Saline. Punt will go directly to Luke. He'll take it at the 35, now surveying. Hit, he broke away just momentarily and got to the 42, and then taken down there with 14 seconds left to play in this first half.
And Tyler, I'm going to ask you a question here again. If you're Southeast knowing you have the speedsters, do you try to take a shot here knowing you're going to get the ball to start the second half?
I don't see why you don't. It's a high school. I mean, again, these are high school guys. You're not worried about guys ruining their stats by throwing a pick. Sometimes you hear that at the college level. I don't see why not. You take a shot. Worst case scenario, you're going to the half up 28-6.
And there's multiple people that can run that. 2 of them off to the left-hand side with Tucker Thaxton and Michael Murray. Jake Gebhardt by himself to the right. Luke barking out signals. It'll be an end around here by Michael Murray. Has to get rid of a Chaparral tackler in the backfield, and now he's off and running. Plants his foot, cuts back, brought down at the 50-yard line, now across to the 49-yard line. It was a gain of 8 yards, and Southeast of Saline takes their last time out. Boy, plays like that, if you're not rooting for Southeast of Saline, have to make you a little uncomfortable, because at that point, once that first tackler misses, that almost turns into a return situation with everybody spread out.
Yeah, because then you got your lead blockers out there on the right, on the far side of the field, wide receivers. And it is a tough job as a wide receiver to block downfield for that long, knowing that you have to keep your hands inside the numbers. You can't grab a hold and let go. Maybe on the line of scrimmage you can get away with if your hands are inside the numbers, grabbing a hold a little bit as it's more congested. As a wide receiver out in open space, the eyes are on you to watch that blocking. So a great job by Chaparral right there to get off of the blocks and come up and make that tackle.
4 seconds left to play here on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan. 28-6 is our score. Southeast of Saline with the football at midfield at the 49-yard line. Long conversation right now with the Southeast of Saline crew, coaching staff, and a lot of the players taking part in this. Jake Gebhardt will go to the right by himself. Nate Friesen split out left as part of a 4 wide receiver set to the left-hand side. Empty backfield for Luke Gebhardt. Luke drops back out of the shotgun, lets it fly down the seam. Left-hand side, Michael Murray is there. And Murray looked like he might have had it off the right shoulder pad, but a deflection there by a Roadrunner breaks up that pass, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Pretty good first half here by Southeast of Saline. Chaparral got off to a fast start but could not score as Southeast of Saline held them out of the end zone. Then the Trojans put up 4 consecutive touchdowns on their way to a halftime lead of 28-6. Awaiting the conversation with head coach Mitch Gebhardt and Tyler Henry, as we will get that here just momentarily on the artificial surface at Kansas Wesleyan. Tyler, take it away.
Coach, you guys lead it 28-6 at the half. Obviously a great first half. Overall, best thing you saw from your team that first frame?
Yeah, I felt like we were playing with confidence on offense there. I thought the drive that we had, a couple of those drives, we went for it on 4th down, and obviously the coaches have confidence in them, and I feel like the kids are playing with confidence there.
You guys take the ball. You got the momentum going into the second half. What do you want to see from your team in the second?
I want us to do a little better job on defense. The last 2 drives they've had, we stopped them on one of them, and then we didn't get them stopped on this next one. And, they scored ahead a touchdown pass, but that wasn't the only play that we didn't do what we needed to get done.
Sounds good. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Devin,
good
job.
Here.
Back to you.
All right, 28-6 our score. We are at halftime. When we come back, we'll look at stats from the first half. We will also look at scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard and look at some scores and just some matchups around the state of Kansas as we are deep into playoff time. Here on the campus of K-Dub, 28-6, Southeast of Saline leads it over the Chaparral Roadrunners. We'll be back after this timeout. It's halftime, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top-quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
Hunters, not only can we fill up your tanks 24/7, but we've stocked ammo for your sporting needs. Our wide variety will get you stocked up. We have new orders coming every week. Whether it's opening day or to shoot clay, we've got what you're looking for. We have the largest selection of ammunition in southern Saline County. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Assyria Oil and Hardware, located in Assyria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
It's 3rd down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for rural property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan University, it is the Graves Family Sports Complex. Gene Bissell Field in Southeast of Saline leads it here at halftime by a count of 28-6. My name is Devin Haney, along with Russ Kossel, Tyler Henry. Cruising through this playoff game, it's the round of 16, and so far things looking good for the Trojans of Southeast of Saline. Let's first start out with the Roadrunners, who started this game with the football. Austin Clark throwing the football, 7 out of 12 so far in this game, has 61 yards passing, threw a touchdown, and also has an interception that was taken away by Daniel Kerr. The touchdown for the Roadrunners went to Jackson Schwartz. He has 2 catches, 40 yards along with that tutty. Aiden Guy, 3 catches, 18 yards. 2 yards on 1 catch by Tyson Pfaff, and another catch for 1 yard by Joe Ord. Rushing the football, Austin Clark, 10 rushes for 29 yards. Aiden Guy has 2 carries for 3 yards. Jack Francis, a carry for 1 yard. And Kyler Smith had an end around that was abruptly ended by Cameron Whitty and lost 6 yards. For Southeast of Saline, Luke Gebhardt throwing the football so far, 8 of 15, has 99 yards passing and a touchdown. That touchdown went to Nate Friesen on a throwback screen. 2 catches, 14 yards for Friesen out of the backfield. Landon Allen has 2 catches, 25 yards. Michael Murray, 2 receptions, 31 yards. Tucker Thaxton has a reception that set up the first Trojan touchdown, 27 yards. And Jake Gebhardt, 1 catch for 6 yards. Leading rusher so far for Southeast of Saline is Luke Gebhardt, 9 carries, 46 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Daniel Kerr, 4 carries, 28 yards. Michael Murray, 3 carries, 14 yards. Nate Friesen, 5 carries, and 11 yards. All in all, when we look at the totals, Chaparral, 27 yards rushing, 61 yards passing for a total of 88 yards. They do have the 1 turnover. Southeast of Saline's totals, there's that balance that we always talk about, 98 yards rushing, 99 yards passing for a total of 197 yards. Each team's quarterback was sacked 1 time. Those offensive stats brought to you by Citizen State Bank in beautiful downtown Gypsum. Bank where the Trojans bank, and that's at Citizen State Bank in Gypsum. Once again, our halftime score, 28-6. Southeast of Saline leading the Chaparral Roadrunners. We're at halftime, and it's brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories here on KINA.
Kansas Wesleyan University is proud to offer bachelor's degrees in criminal justice and emergency management, with both programs available on campus and online. Graduates have gone on to positions in the Secret Service, various police departments, the Kansas Court of Appeals, and to serve as county officials right here in the Sunflower State. Want to know more? Visit kwu.edu today. That's kwu.edu.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
Citizen State Bank has been serving Kansans for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizen State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizen State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizen State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here at Kansas Wesleyan University, Devin Haney, Russ Kossel, and Tyler Henry. Back here, Southeast of Saline leading at the break, 28-6. We've got a bunch of scores coming up. Here are at least some score updates as we can get them with Russ on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. I will tell you, Salina Central, who started an hour earlier, they kicked off at 6 o'clock over at Salina Stadium. They are leading the Great Bend Panthers right now, 33-28 with less than 5 minutes remaining over at Salina Stadium. So the Mustangs with a 5-point lead as they try to get, Tyler, their first moving into that type of round for since how long? How long did you say it had been since they have done that?
This would be, I believe, the first November win since 2013 for this Central team, and they talk about it all the time. That's one of their big goals.
So 40-35 now is the score, as it still remains a 5-point game. Those two teams going back and forth. Each of them have had touchdowns since the last time we gave that score update 37 seconds ago, and there's 2:44 left in the game over at Saline Stadium. I wanted to bring you in, Tyler, because you do such a great job not only helping out with the broadcast here, as you help out with pregame segments, halftime segments, and what have you. And we want to tell everybody Wade Castleman will join us along the week if we are fortunate enough to move on in this game and play next week. We will have the championship cross-country coach join us at halftime next week. But you do such a good job in kind of keeping your finger on the pulse of not only what's going on in Saline County, but also in the area. And we've kind of challenged you a little bit. And when I say we, I mean me and yourself, because you are your biggest critic. But you have taken up some area schools like Rock Creek and Wamego and Chapman and Abilene, Solomon. And it's one of those things that is growing. And because of the lack of sports coverage in the area now and just kind of, we felt like there was a need that needed to be filled, and we were trying to do that with Salina Post. And also our little baby that's growing up so fast on Twitter, and that is at SPost Sports. You provide 99.5% of the content on there, and it is a great job, and that thing is blowing up pretty quick. We want to encourage people to follow that because not only will you find all of the southeast of Saline content, but you will find content from around the area. And this has been quite a challenge for you, but, man, you're doing such a great job with that. Just tell me about that project.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, you said it. It was a thing where we noticed there were these schools, especially you talk about the Wamegos and the Rock Creeks, wonderful programs, great coaches, incredible athletic directors, and really just not a lot of coverage. And I think, we thought that there was a need there, but when we started doing it, we learned quickly there was a need there. Yeah. So it's been really great to be able to give some of those communities that coverage. And I've heard from a lot of coaches and a lot of people in the communities that, again, they're happy to have it, but they're happy to have it done right. And I think too often you get some of these outlets that want to show up during the playoffs. They want to show up when you're 3 rounds in. We cover these teams from day one. So that's been something that's been good to see. And again, just to give these kids the coverage, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about, any of the adults involved. It's about the kids. And it's been great to give them the exposure and shine a light on that.
What kind of challenges and what kind of excitement? Because I feel like the scale is balanced if you're doing it the right way. With kids on social media and the interaction, you're not just kind of catering to mom and dad and maybe grandpa and grandma anymore. The kids are interactive too, and we've seen that. Sometimes a lot of the best interaction you get are from the athletes.
Yeah, and it's been interesting as well because a lot of these kids and a lot of the schools, they don't have access to some of the social media, tools that we do, some of the graphics software that we do. But at the end of the day, all of these kids are trying to get a shot at the next level. And anything we can do to promote their numbers, to promote their stories, to kind of, tell people about what they've been up to, it helps them, not guaranteed to achieve that, but it puts their stories out there. So it's been a lot of fun interacting with them, and it's been a lot of fun getting people around the area involved as well.
Of course, at the base of our coverage is southeast of Saline. You're a southeast grad. I feel like I might be an adopted southeast grad if I was out there just being a foster kid. But it's a fun run right now with the Trojans. We talk about the football team, and we were talking about the Class 2A bracket, and not only 2A teams but 3A teams with what's going on this weekend. And there are a lot of tentacles, if you will, that come back to southeast of Saline. You look last night, Clay Center went into Wichita. They routed the Spartans of Wichita Collegiate 35-0. Clay Center's 3 losses this year were to Wamego, southeast of Saline, and Rock Creek. You look at Rock Creek. They were able to defeat Heston and eliminate the Swathers last night. Rock Creek's only loss was week number 1 against southeast of Saline. You look at 2A's bracket. Beloit tonight, they're rolling. Russ will have a score on their game. Beloit has not lost since week 2 against southeast of Saline. You look at Ellsworth. They come into tonight. They're 7-1, or 8-1, excuse me. Their only loss was to southeast of Saline. This program that Mitch Gebhardt and company with his coaching staff that has held together for 12 years, they have built just that. It's not, hey, we got a good team this year. It is an expectation of we're going to have a good team every single year.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You want to be the best, you got to play the best. I think Southeast understands that better than anybody. But we also hear from Coach Gebhardt all the time, these kids don't play until they're ready. And they get them ready at the middle school level. They get them ready in the weight room when they're on JV. By the time these kids hit the field, I mean, how many stories have we seen? These kids that hadn't played, they show up on the field. 2 weeks in, they're certified superstars. But it's part of the program. It's what they're building off the field. It's what they're building in practice that gets these guys ready to play under the Friday night lights. And that's not something that every single program in the state gets to enjoy, but it's set up by the coaching staff and it's set up by the school here at Southeast of Saline.
This thing whittles down pretty quick. I told Mitch Gebhardt in our pregame interview that this will come down. This is the week right here, I feel like, that you separate who is going to be here in the long haul and who's not. First week, I don't really feel like, because you get a lot of bad teams versus good teams in the matchups. This is the week I feel like you separate and the cream rises to the top, where after tonight we're going to be looking, we're going to have 8 teams left in Class 2A. That East seems like it's loaded, not necessarily with really, really, really good teams, but teams that have tradition like Rossville. They come into tonight, they have 3 losses, but that's your defending champ of the last couple of seasons.
Well, and we talked about it too. Like, you can have all the talent in the world, but you need to have the coaching this time of year, and those programs have got the coaching. So in November, you line those guys up the sideline, they make every bit as big of a difference as the guys on the field.
All right, bud, we'll let you get back down to the sidelines. Good visiting with you. Stay warm down there. We'll have Russ coming back with some scores, 28-6. We are at halftime on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories Halftime Report. Trojans leading it here on KINA.
This is Tammy Bedreau at the Bank of Tesket. If you're looking to purchase your new home in the near future, I want you to know we offer a variety of loan options to finance your home purchase. I would love an opportunity to be your lender. Give me a call or stop in today to learn more. We are local lenders making local decisions. The Bank of Tesket, committed to those we serve. MLS number 712440. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Stardust Trophy Downtown Salina has all the cool football medals and trophies your team needs for its players when their practice session pays off in big wins. Choose from tons of trophy styles and customize it exactly as you want. Stardust Trophy even has special trophies just for fantasy football leagues. Just for fun, choose football bobblehead trophies. Got an autographed or special football? Show it off in a special acrylic showcase from Stardust Trophy. 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnssalina.com.
Back here on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan, Devin Haney, Russ Kossel, and time now to go through the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Russ, scores kind of hard to come by tonight, and we expected that with schools dwindling down, but you do have a couple of scores to pass along.
Yeah, I have a couple 2A scores here, about 4 or 5 of them. Humboldt 26-7 over Osage City at the half. I think at the half, Kingman 21, Ellsworth 0. A game that you and Tyler just talked about, this Beloit team, how the run they're on since they played Southeast. Beloit up 36-7 on Norton at the half. Another 2A game that the three of us kind of talked about, Nemaha Central and Rossville, how we thought that might be a good game. Rossville always good no matter what year it is. Nemaha Central routing them right now 24-7. Riley County 6, Sabetha 27. And probably the most important game, if you're a Southeast of Saline fan, if this game goes your way, is the Russell-Hoisington score. And at the half, it is Russell 22, Hoisington 13.
All right, thank you very much. Here it is 28-6, Southeast of Saline leading. Southeast with 14 points in each quarter. The last touchdown, though, scored by Chaparral to make it 28-6. Here as we get ready for third quarter action. Southeast of Saline will receive. I'm curious, as you've watched the first half now, Russ, what are your new image audio keys to success here second half for Southeast?
I think on the defensive line and maybe the front 5, you try to stop the run. The quarterback run up the middle seems to be the only play. Pass defense has been well. Yeah, you had one play that Coach Mitch Gebhardt mentioned at halftime to Tyler that wasn't the only play. He noticed a lot of other ones that they didn't go out the way they wanted to. They didn't make tackles how they wanted to. So I think defensively you have to button up a little in the middle. And if on the offensive side of the ball, you just keep doing what you're doing. We saw new things tonight with that backfield that had so much speed in it for the first time this year that they drove right down the field with. So keep playing the way you are on offense, but tighten up on defense.
Jackson Schwartz kicks it away for Chaparral. He drives Michael Murray back to the 5. Michael Mishandles the football. Now he picks it up, and he's up and running down the middle of the field. 15, 20, now 25, 30. Out to the left-hand edge. 35, 40. Takes on a tackler and brought down at the 49-yard line. Michael Murray, we've seen it before this year. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to him is getting that little delay when he mishandles a football, and that one brought him all the way out to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, and a great job by this whole Southeast Saline return team. You know, Murray bobbled that, picked it up at the 5, and able to bring it up near midfield, but it looks like there might have been a flag on the play as they're going way back.
Geez, yeah.
And when I mean way back, like they're going to spot the ball
in Sacred Heart's parking lot.
Yeah, that's about where it's going to be. It looks like they're going to mark this ball at the 15-yard line. The flag was thrown on the far side of the field, nowhere even near on the play of that. And it looked like the official just made the reference that there was a block in the back, and you hate to see that, being that would have not even affected the play one bit at all.
So they will have to make adjustments there instead of starting out at the 49.
They're going to start at the 8.
They will be all the way back. Wow.
Or 7.
Really? 7, yeah. Jeez.
I mean, that's a 40-plus yard penalty if you're southeast of Saline right there.
So the Trojans here have their work cut out for them as they start third quarter action, leading 28-6 back at their own 7-yard line. Luke Gebhardt has Landon Allen in front of him. Nate Friesen to his side, fakes it to Friesen, and Luke will work ahead to the 9-yard line on a gain of 2. First half, Luke was the leading rusher for Southeast of Saline's offensive attack. 9 carries, 46 yards.
Stop for Chaparral, short gain, second down.
And there's really nothing. Chaparral's defense has done a great job of the run up the middle where we've seen so much success from the Southeast team.
Here's a sweep, right-hand side. Michael Murray on the jet. He'll take the handoff and then got tripped up at the 10-yard line. He's going to fall ahead to about the 14 or maybe 13-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 4.
And I think if you're Southeast here, you just march down the field, keep the clock running, because you got the wind in your face, and knowing you're going to have that in your back on the fourth quarter, I don't want to look so far ahead, but you got to keep this drive sustained to kill as much clock to keep Chaparral from having that wind advantage.
3rd down and 4 here for Southeast. 3 wide receivers on the left-hand side. They sneak it in the gut, though, of Friesen. Nate trying to string it out to the right-hand side. He's reaching for the first down sticks as both teams each pointing the other way, saying that he did or did not get it, depending on what color jersey they're wearing, and the referee is going to say 4th down. Boy, that was a good play design, too, but Chaparral defended it very, very well. Gain of 3 by Friesen, just short of the first down.
Yeah, I don't know who the defensive back was over there, but there was nobody else over there but him. That was a great play call design, but brings up 4th down once again for Southeast, deep in their own territory.
Southeast with a hard count here. Friesen is directly behind Luke Gebhardt, Landon Allen in front. And Luke tells the sideline, hurry up, give me a play. 5 seconds left on the play clock. He'll take the snap now to Friesen. Friesen has some space, has the first down, and a statement made here early on in the second half by Southeast of Saline as they go for it back deep in their own territory, and they will bring it out to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, didn't really run up the middle there. Kind of ran off tackle of Wade Rutherford over there on the left side, and he did a great job of getting a great push, and Friesen just followed big number 52 to first down yardage.
That was a gain of 7 by Nate Friesen. They were back at their own 16-yard line when they went for that on 4th down. Here's the give to Friesen again. Working right-hand side. He's going to explode through across the 25 and end up at the 31-yard line. Boy, Friesen has that explosion that we saw last week. That time it went for a quick gain of 6. 8 carries so far, 27 yards for Nate Friesen.
Yeah,
Goes with the football at the 30.
He hits the hole hard and is at full speed quick.
There's a Roadrunner way off sides. The officials, though, not throwing the flag. Coach Gebhardt in the ear of one of the officials here on his sideline. Here's the snap. Gebhardt, pitch out, Friesen, right-hand side. Here goes Nate again, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
And you wonder if there was an adjustment made there at halftime, knowing that Chaparral has done such a good job in the middle of the field on defense that we're just going to get it in our speedsters' hands and run a quick pitch to the outside. And have one-on-one, your guys against ours, best on best, and see who can win.
So first down, a gain of 8 for Friesen. They fake the jet sweep. Nope, they give it to Murray. Michael has it now, sticks his toe in the sand, now bounces to the outside, out across the 45-yard line and brought down at the 48. A 10-yard gain by Michael Murray right at the sticks on first down. It'll be second down in inches.
And an excellent job once again by the left tackle, Wade Rutherford. He knocked this guy head up on him straight down to the ground, never stayed up, went to the middle linebacker, knocked him, then went and found a defensive back and led the way again.
Second and a football at the 47-yard line. First drive of the second half here, southeast of Saline, pushing it out towards midfield. Here's the snap back to Luke. Gebhardt with a fake handoff, throws a defender, and that's all he needed to get it across the midfield as the two quarterbacks collide. Austin Clark coming up and making the tackle on Luke as he came across the midfield stripe to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
And once again, we see that play a lot, go directly in the A gap right off center, and they're kind of going in the B and the C gaps right here outside of guard and tackle, and a great job on that left side of the offensive line so far to start the second half.
In Roadrunner territory at the 49-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Now the back, Friesen, will shift. He'll be to the right side of Luke Gebhardt. Here's the shotgun snap, a little shoulder twitch out that way. Gebhardt's going to take it right up the middle, drags a Roadrunner 10 yards, and gets 12 yards on the play. How about the strength of Luke Gebhardt just dragging Chaparral players right down the middle of the field?
And not only the strength, but the vision. They jumped that quick throw out to Jake on the far side, and the Chaparral Roadrunner secondary read that great. He saw that, just fake, brought the ball down, saw the opening, and got a first down.
From the 38. Here's a handoff. Friesen wants the right-hand side again. Friesen running and diving for the first down sticks. He's going to be out of bounds at the 31-yard line. A gain of 7 for Nate Friesen on first down. Boy, they are going short down and distance, aren't they? They are keeping everything very manageable and a lot of plays that you can go to here.
Yeah, and the yardage that they pick up on first and second down has really been there all year. They have put themselves in third and manageable 4th and 1 many times this year.
Under 8 minutes left to play, third quarter. Second down and 3. Gebhardt with the ball, fakes it to Murray this time. And Gebhardt straight up the guts, going to be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. It'll bring up third down and short.
And that was a great job there by defensive end Eli Gates. Spun off of the tackle and spun right back into the middle to hold Luke Gebhardt for a short gain. So a great job on that defensive line by Eli Gates.
Football sitting at the 30-yard line. Third down. They're going to call it 3rd and 2 here for southeast of Saline. So far, the Roadrunners have not been able to force southeast of Saline off the field here. Trojans have converted a 4th down and a couple of third downs. Here's another third down. Nate Friesen all the way inside of the 30-yard line to the 27 on a gain of 3. Needed 2.
And this is that sustained drive I talked about when they were way back. This drive started on their own 7-yard line.
Yes, sir. And reminds me a little bit of the Rock Creek game. Remember where there was a lot of passing, a lot of balance, and then Southeast came out in the second half and went, all right, we're just going to run it here. See what happens. From the 27. Friesen, left-hand side, breaks a couple of tackles, gets to the 21. And he is running hard. And we talked to Mitch Gebhardt about that in the pregame conversation. He is very complimentary of the progress that Nate Friesen has made this year in his junior season. That time it was a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, I mean, when you're averaging almost 7 yards a carry and you're getting 6-7 yards on first down, why would you not give the ball to number 3?
Nose of the football sitting at the 20-yard line at southeast of Saline, just on the outside of the Can-Equip red zone. 2 wide receivers, right-hand side. Here's a jet sweep, Michael Murray. He's following Nate Friesen, and a flag will come in on the play. Murray was clocked at the 20-yard line for no gain, and we'll have to see what the flag is. Tucker Thaxton got up, signaling maybe it was a possible face mask.
I don't know. They might get a Chaparral coaches they were about at the numbers on the field when that play was still going on, and they might get a block in the back, maybe a bad block here on Southeast, so that'll back them up 10, 15 yards.
Looks like they are taking southeast of Saline backwards here from the 20 back to about the 31-yard line.
And they did get a block in the back on that far side over there.
Second down now and 14 for southeast of Saline. They put it in reverse to the 31. Empty backfield for Luke Gebhardt. Looking to the left, goes over the middle, and it's behind Michael Murray. And those two unable to hook up on the first pass attempt of the second half for the Trojans. And that'll stop the clock with 3rd and 14 on the clock.
And Tyler, it looks to me like the middle of the field is becoming wide open down there.
Yeah, they're forcing Chaparral to play to the outside. That really opens up what Southeast likes to do. You talk about those short slant routes to the inside of the field. They're going to have that available. They've also got the Luke Gebhardt run up the middle available against this 3-man front. We haven't talked much about it, but that 3-man front, tough to run at the high school level. Chaparral runs it well.
3rd down and 14 here for Southeast of Saline. Empty backfield, heavy wide receivers on the left. Luke looking that way, now leaves the pocket, throws one behind Landon Allen. Boy, he had Landon in a soft spot there, just about between the 10 and the 15-yard line, and threw a wobbler that they were unable to connect on. And now that'll bring up 4th and 14 with the football setting at the 32-yard line.
And Southeast already converting on 3 fourth downs in this game. Four now at that one at late in the second half. So their 5th 4th down attempt. So they have no interest, obviously, to put the punting unit out on the field.
They had one on this drive, remember, back at their own 16-yard line that they went for it on 4th and 1. 4th and 14, a little bit of a bigger challenge here. Gebhardt has it. He's going to be under pressure. Gets out of the pocket. Now a little screen flip out to Friesen, who's got space. 20, 15, and out of bounds there at the 10-yard line. They're going to see he steps out at the 9. What a play, improvising that time between Luke Gebhardt and Nate Friesen.
And Nate did a great job reading that. He was going to read Luke on the run and go chip off a block. Well, that guy made one step towards the line of scrimmage, so Nate quickly made the decision to go upfield. Luke did a great job of just flipping it to him, seeing all the open space out in front of him. A great, great job by both of them right there.
They hung a defender out to dry because he had a choice, either go get Luke or stay with Friesen. He came towards Gebhardt, and Luke just threw it over the top of his head to Friesen, who was already on the run, and made it all the way to the 9. 1st and goal, Trojans. 5:55 left to go in the 3rd. They go back to Friesen. Little counter slide step in the gap as he is brought down at the 5 on a gain of 4. Boy, he is a workhorse here in this game and putting up yards almost equally, rushing and receiving. His touchdown, of course, was on a pass play.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you want to do. You couldn't have scripted the start of this second half any better if you're Southeast of Saline.
2nd and goal at the 5. Heavy on the left-hand side. Gebhardt goes back to Friesen. Nothing in the middle. He starts to bounce it out. Now works his way back to the middle and brought down at the 1. A gain of 4 for Nate Friesen. That brings up 3rd down and goal. Down to the 1. A gain of 4.
Yeah, and I think right here, you go back to it. I mean, we've seen him run that little bit of reverse fake, kind of whatever, and Luke just roll out. So
pistol formation, Friesen directly behind Gebhardt. They go back to Nate, and he's going to follow in Landon Allen. Landon was trying to hold a block, and Nate Friesen ran right up the backside of Landon Allen that time and was able to score, and that is a huge play for Southeast of Saline. Not only do they get the touchdown, but they knocked a lot of time off the clock, and also something we didn't talk about, going against the wind. They almost took away the whole advantage of the quarter with the wind for Chaparral.
And you want to talk about a Phillips C drive of the game. That was play number 20 on this drive.
Here's the 2-point conversion. Luke Gebhardt calls it up on the run, and he tacks on 2. 36-6, 4:54 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Southeast of Saline takes a big chunk out of the clock to start the 2nd here on KINA.
Everybody knows that to get the best price for your car, you have to do all the hard work and sell it yourself, right? Not really. You can go to homeauto.com and get an attractive offer on your car today. And that's whether you buy your next vehicle from us or not. Your used car is worth more today than ever. So go to homeauto.com or come into our Abilene or Saline location and get an offer for more than you might expect. It just couldn't be any easier than that. Get the best price for your vehicle today at Home Automotive. You'll be glad you did.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
To start the second half, Southeast of Saline assembles a 20-play drive. They converted 2 4th downs and was able to cap it off with a Nate Friesen 1-yard touchdown run. And a 2-point conversion by Luke Gebhardt, a Phillips C drive of the game. 20 plays, Russ, and as I said, Southeast of Saline has pretty much taken the advantage of the wind away from Chaparral here in this third quarter.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's what you had to do. You had to put a sustained drive together and come away with 6, even better.
Here's the kick over to the left-hand side. Joe Ord will take it. Now he wants to angle back towards the middle of the field. He's got some space. Wyatt Boyd can't get him, and Ord might house call this one. All the way down the left-hand sideline, and Chaparral will not go away. They don't need the wind to return a kick, as they were able to get this one 76 yards. Started on the right-hand side of the field, and the Roadrunners went all the way to the other side of the field and took it for 6 points.
Got a great return set up right there, and we've seen Joe Ord he's returned almost every kick tonight except for one went to the middle, and he's got 20, 30 yards, and he's been 1 or 2 tackles away from breaking it. So this return team has done a great job all evening long, and finally it pays off.
Ord will now have to hold it for Schwartz on the extra point. Snap back. It's going to be low. Ord's going to pop up with it and improvise. He's going to pass to the end zone. Up for grabs. It's going to be broken up and caught. That ball was dead, broken up by a bunch of Southeast of Saline players, and Tyson Pfaff brings it in for the 2-point conversion. So the Roadrunners equal it up, but now the officials wanting to talk about it. See what they're going to say. Penalty on Southeast of Saline. Looks like the Roadrunners will take this penalty. It's a personal foul onto the kickoff. So that will be instrumental as we come back. 36-14. Roadrunners not going away. 4:41 left to go here in the third quarter on KINA.
Whether you're in the stadium parking lot or your own backyard, the key to a great football party is the grill. The Appliance Center is here to help you grill like a pro this football season. We have a nice selection of Green Mountain, Blazin', or Smokin' Brothers pellet grills. And, of course, if you need a refill of pellets, we have those as well. Nothing beats your team winning, but let the Appliance Center help you enjoy it a little more with a brand new pellet grill. Big or small football party, the Appliance Center has what you need in the big red and white building on Broadway.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Kansas Wesleyan's campus, it's Gene Bissell Field. Go down to Tyler Henry here. What's going on there, Tyler?
Yeah, Devin, I mean, I know you and I are both big fans of math. If you want to do some math here and take a look at what Southeast of Saline's been doing, we talked about it. They did something similar against Rock Creek with how they can stretch these drives out. You pick up 3, 4, 5 yards of play. Chaparral could run every kickoff the rest of the way back for a touchdown. They'd still lose by 2 or 3 scores. So for SES, I like what they're doing right now. You keep the ground game rolling. It's just not mathematically possible if they keep that efficiency up for Chaparral to get back into this one.
A couple of scores for Russ to give us, as it will be a short field for Chaparral after the personal foul penalty against Southeast of Saline. They're actually going to be kicking away just 45 yards between the kicker and the goal line. Back deep, Friesen and Michael Murray standing at their own goal lines. Kick will sideways twist and turn, go to the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback. Southeast of Saline will come out at their own 20.
A couple of scores here. Probably the one that's most entertaining to us. Hoisington comes out to start the second half and scores. Hoisington 20, Russell 22. Salina Central, just across town at Salina Stadium, able to pick up a huge win against the Great Bend Panthers, 40-35.
So a 5-point win for the Mustangs. They march on now after getting rid of the Great Bend Panthers tonight.
Another update here into the third quarter in 2A. Humboldt 26, Osage City 14.
That's a little bit of a shock. That Osage City team is rolling. They did very well last year, had a bunch of juniors led by Landon Boss. We saw them at the state basketball tournament. There's a give to Friesen, skipping through the line of scrimmage, and he's going to come from the 20 all the way up to the 29-yard line on a gain of 9. Boy, really not much reason right now to go away from Nate Friesen in this rushing game.
No, especially when you got, looks like Wade Rutherford and Brody Chambers over there, 2 really large men at the offensive line on that left side doing a phenomenal job.
Out to the 29 where it's 3rd and 1. Back to Friesen. Little counter play. Slide steps again. Brooks 3 tackles, and now he's out in the open all the way down to the 46-yard line. Friesen's breaking off these yards about as quick as I can talk about them, and that time it was a 17-yard play.
And once again, going on that left side, they must have seen something. The coaching staff had to see something to go, because 90% of these plays so far have been ran to the left side of that offensive line.
18 yards there. 17 carries, 88 yards for Nate Friesen. Most of them here in the second half. Back to Nate. He wants to try right-hand side, and he's going to be clobbered at the 49. Brought down there after a gain of 2.
Yeah, tough run, tough sledding there. They tried to go back up the middle once again, right in the A-gap on the right side, and just nothing doing really on the inside 2 A-gap so far for Southeast of Saline, having to stretch it out just a little bit.
Friesen has 13 carries here in this third quarter alone. Second down and 8 at the 48-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side, including Landon Allen, will make it 3. Here's a shotgun snap back to Gebhardt. Play action to Friesen. Now he's rolling out. Wants to go down the field. Hits Murray on the run. Stiff arm from Murray will buy him a couple of more yards as he steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
And a great job once again by all 5 of those offensive linemen holding and just going lateral with the line of scrimmage, and quarterback Luke Gebhardt rolling out. Really had 2 guys wide open right there. Had his choice between Landon Allen and Michael Murray, and chose Michael Murray in, once again, what would be the wide open middle part of the field.
20 yards on that play for Southeast of Saline. They have pushed the football now down to the 33-yard line. Back to Friesen. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage for no gain. That'll bring up second down and 10. We've seen a couple of times, one of them in the end zone tonight, where Luke Gebhardt and Michael Murray have had trouble connecting. That one, though, was a beautiful timing route between the two, where Murray was coming from right to left across the field, and Luke Gebhardt able to hit him on the run and take advantage of all the momentum that he had already built coming out of the line of scrimmage. Second down here for the Trojans at the Chaparral 32-yard line. Inside the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. 2 wide receivers on the right. They go back to Friesen. Friesen into the second level, carrying a Roadrunner with him. He's going to be taken down at the 25-yard line after a gain of 7.
Yeah, and another great job once again. They kind of stretched that one out into the seat gap a little bit, but the guard and the tackles on both sides, Isaacson and Keller on one side, Chambers, Rutherford on the left side, doing a great, great job. Chaparral's going to get a timeout right here.
Timeout, Chaparral will take it as well. 30 seconds and then back with more Trojans driving down the field here on KINA.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at salinapaintballcomplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Out of the timeout, fake on the jet sweep. Gebhardt straight ahead will get it inside of the 20-yard line to the 18-yard line. That'll be another first down for Southeast of Saline.
Devin, Chaparral hasn't ran an offensive play in this third quarter.
Correct.
As they're sustaining another, this will be play number 8 on this drive, so Southeast coming up their 28th play of the third quarter.
First down and 10, Southeast of Saline in the Can-Equip red zone. They're at the 19-yard line. Here's the give to Friesen. He wants to bounce it out to the outside. Now he cuts it in. Flag on the play. Clark will drag Friesen down at about the 7-yard line, and that flag coming in from the back judge.
Yeah, in the area of where you would probably see holding. That's exactly what they're going to call. Not sure on who it was. It was jumbled up over there, so that'll set them back 10 yards and bring up replay of first down. 10-yard penalty would be about 1st and 14.
We've seen with this Southeast squad pretty much all year, if you're going to get big penalties, get them on 1st or 2nd down, right? We've seen in this game a couple of times they are most of the time able to overcome that.
So now that will take them just outside of the Can-Equip red zone.
Back them up to the 23-yard line, where Southeast of Saline will have it. First down and about 15. Clock continues to roll. 83 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Cameron Whitty came out to the left. He will be joined by Michael Murray. Jake Gebhardt, just one catch tonight. He's out on the right-hand side as a solo. Luke, play action, wants to roll to the left-hand side. a wall of defenders in front of him. He puts on the brakes, tries to go to Landon Allen, and that's going to be slapped up in the air. Broken up that time by Austin Clark there at his linebacker spot, who come up to cover Landon Allen.
Hey, Tyler, you're kind of down there in the backfield of Chaparral. Great coverage on that one on the back end.
Yeah, they've done a good job covering up Southeast of Saline's options, and honestly, the longer one of those plays develops, the tougher it is for a DB to stick with the coverage, but they've stayed in man here. They've done an excellent job of covering it up, and again, Luke, he checked all of his reads. He went downfield. He had nobody open.
1:05 left to go. Second down and 15 now for Southeast of Saline. Little counter play. They start left, give it to Friesen, coming back to the right, and Nate will bring it to the 19-yard line on a gain of 4. Unofficially now, 20 carries, 101 yards for Nate Friesen. Second consecutive week he's gone over 100, and third time this season. He's knocked on the door of the century mark quite a bit. 87 yards, 92 yards.
10th play coming up on this drive. In Southeast, they'll have to run one more play in this third quarter.
30 offensive plays for Southeast of Saline, and as you said, Russ, Chaparral has run 0 here in this third quarter.
Southeast going to have to call a timeout right here.
And they will. Third down and 11. Trojans want to talk about it. They burned their first time out of the second half. They lead 36-14. Big third down conversion coming up here on KINA.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Saline Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at SalinePainClinic.org.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit RoselawnSalina.com.
Back here, the round of 16, Southeast of Saline playing Chaparral here in this regional matchup. Devin Haney along with Russ Kostel. Tyler Henry is on the field. Little look at radar during that break. There is a little bit of rain coming from the south, moving to the north. We are just on the edge of that right now. So it looks like we will not complete this game dry. But it could dissipate.
Just got another score update on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard from Big Sam back at studio. Beloit now well on top of Norton, 46-7.
Third down and 11 from the 19-yard line. Here's Luke Gebhardt, play action to Friesen. Now he's under pressure, being chased by 3 Roadrunners. He gets a block, though, a help from Friesen. Luke's going to flush it and run to the 15, to the 10, twisting and turning his way out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Gebhardt very, very close to a first down on a run of 11 yards.
And I think they're going to mark him out about a half yard short, maybe. They are going to put fourth down up, maybe a full yard short, it looks like.
He was thrown out of bounds pretty awkward there, just inside of the 10-yard line. And it's going to be fourth and short. Pistol formation, Friesen directly behind Gebhardt. They go to Nate. He has to get by would-be Roadrunner tackler, and he's going to have first down yardage, and that will close out the third quarter. Southeast of Saline has it in the Can-Equip red zone. They'll have a first down and goal. When we come back, starting the fourth quarter, Trojans will lead at 36-14 here on KINA.
It is third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
36-14, Trojans with a first and goal. Russ has some scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, Hoisington, end of third quarter, Hoisington-Russell still 22-20 Russell. Another score outside, maybe an area game. Wabaunsee 22, Marion 7.
Okay, all right. Bunsey has a pretty good team this year. The Chargers, I believe. Tyler, am I right on that?
You are correct. And more to the point, if that score holds, that will be the first time that Wabaunsee has advanced to the quarterfinal in school history.
Oh, my. Here, southeast of Saline trying to make some waves in Class 2A. They go back to that full backfield for a first and goal from the 7. They give it to Daniel Kerr. Kerr will get it to the 6. And a couple of yards there on first down. It'll be second goal now coming up from the 6.
Yeah, and Chaparral now put in an extremely big hole. They were able to put 7 points up on the board, but it was the only time they touched the football in the third quarter was on a kickoff.
36-14. Full house backfield again. Gebhardt wants to throw it. Comes out here to Jake. And Jake's going to take his second reception of the night into the end zone for a touchdown. Beautiful blocking out front by Michael Murray. He kept one of the defensive backs from coming in and crashing that party as Luke went to Jake Gebhardt. And 42-14 now is our score on the connection there from 6 yards away. Luke to Jake Gebhardt.
And another sustained drive that bleeds into the fourth quarter, a 13-play drive. So in the last 12 and a half minutes of football, southeast of Saline has ran 33 plays.
Wow. Here's Luke rolling out, 2-point conversion. He will be in a Roadrunner sandwich, but still gets rid of the football, gets rid of it to Landon Allen, and they're going to say Allen was just outside of the goal line. Really, really close on that play there to Luke Gebhardt to Landon Allen. Score remains 42-14 as you listen to it on KINA and also watch live stream video presented by Everhart Precision Ag on SalinaPost.com here on KINA.
Troublesome car repair and everyone has told you it cannot be fixed or it's way too expensive? Try McKim Auto Service in Gypsum, Kansas. They do quick, dependable work and provide the lowest hourly rate in the area. McKim Auto will service your vehicle from front to back and everything in between. They treat you and your car like a friend or even family. McKim Service specializes in engine and transmission rebuilds. 701 Maple, Gypsum, Kansas. Wouldn't trust anyone else with my family car. So, if your repair seems grim, remember McKim. Give them a call today to make your appointment.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
13-play drive and 11:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. The Twins hook up Luke Gebhardt to Jake Gebhardt for the 11th time this season. 2-point conversion was denied. 42-14 now our score. That is your Phillips Seed Farms score recap. And as you said, Russ, so far when we're sitting here at 11:25 left to go in this game, here in the second half, southeast of Saline has ran 33 plays. Chaparral has 0 offensive plays. They did return that kick for a touchdown, but they have not ran an offensive play yet here in this second half.
Yeah, and when you're down this much and you get 7 points, but you give up 14 basically in one quarter, you are not built to come back from a game.
Wyatt Boyd ready to kick it with the wind at his back. He's going to keep this one on the ground. The Roadrunners trying to handle it here at the 27-yard line. They'll angle off. Kyler Smith brings it across the 30, and then he is brought down at the 34. Referees will come in and unpile the guys there, and the Roadrunners will come out and see if they remember their offense.
10:09 left to go in the fourth quarter. Hoisington has scored again, now going up on Russell 28-22.
It's a crazy game.
Back and forth game in Hoisington tonight.
Actually going to put the nose of the football here at the 35-yard line for the Roadrunners to start out. Looks like Chaparral's going to go heavy on the left-hand side. They take their tailback, Aiden Guy, and put him on the line of scrimmage along with 3 wide receivers on that left-hand side. Austin Clark will run away from this action. Has some space, 10 yards, 15, now 20. Meets up with Luke Gebhardt and brought down there at the 41-yard line after crossing midfield.
Yeah, and a clear design run, overload the left side, southeast shifts over, and quarterback Austin Clark just takes a snap and bolts directly off a right tackle. So a great job, a good play call right there by Chaparral.
24 yards on first down for the Roadrunners. They have moved it to the southeast of Saline, 41-yard line. First down and 10. Play action on the jet sweep. Clark, second guy coming through, and this is 5 yards deep in the backfield. He was waiting on Jackson Schwartz, who was lined up at the left, to come through. Jackson did, but then Southeast was there to blow him to bits. That's a 4-yard loss. Trevor Keller making the play.
Yeah, if you're going to run an inside screen to a wide receiver, you need to make sure those 3 defensive linemen get a little farther in the backfield, but he caught that ball and had a jersey full of number 61 right in the middle of the field. A great read by Trevor Keller right there.
That'll back the Roadrunners up to the 45-yard line. Second down and 14. 2 wide receivers on each side for a total of 4. One of them coming in motion, that's Kyler Smith. Fake handoff to him. Clark will keep it. Now angling off to the right-hand side. Gets that yardage back and then brought down at the 36-yard line. You think there's any kind of negative vibe against Chaparral being the Roadrunners and they're playing with a big coyote on the field?
I never even thought about it.
I didn't
you
either
just
till
put
now.
it that way. So
my brain is stupid. It's a gain of 9. Tyler's probably down there shaking his head.
He is.
Yeah. You're welcome. Gain of 9 on that run by Clark. Now he's going to hand it off to Aiden Guy. Guy, a couple of stutter steps in the backfield, and he will lose a yard.
And we kind of talked about this, that quarterback Austin Clark being kind of the workhorse of this team. Besides that one blown pass coverage that ran for a touchdown, Austin Clark has been this offense for this team. It has been solely put on his back.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now the Roadrunners at the 37-yard line. 9:20 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Want to remind you tonight from 10 until 11 o'clock, it is the Kansas Information Network High School Football Scoreboard, scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas from 10 until 11 o'clock, brought to you by Home Automotive Centers and Saline Surgical Hospital. Shotgun snap back here to Clark. He chucks it up over a would-be receiver as he was getting heat on him. Wasn't a pretty throw when it left, and it hit the ground, incomplete, bringing up a 4th down and 6.
He didn't have time to throw the football right there. Southeast sent the house, knowing that they got to throw it for it on 4th down, and he didn't even have time to adjust the football in his hand before Mac Chambers and Caden Isaacson were coming through the A-gaps just untouched, and he had to get rid of it. And a great stand by the Southeast defense.
A couple of substitutions coming onto the field here for Southeast of Saline. Brenton Heller comes onto the field. Nate Friesen also out there. Continuing in here on offense. Here's a pitch out to Friesen. Friesen looking for some space, trying to run behind Landon Allen, and he is going to be tackled for a 2-yard loss.
Clearly Landon looking for the sideline right there, trying to stretch that play out as much as he could, as Chaparral player getting up slow on the sideline.
Brody Chambers also out there on the offensive line. He's been coming in and out as they try to work Nate Weller back into this offensive line. Now Daniel Kerr will come into the game for quarterback Luke Gebhardt. 8:31 left to go here in this game. Kerr with a 2nd and 12. Fakes the handoff. Now he's going to keep it on the run. He's out across the 40. Takes on a would-be tackler and steamrolls a Roadrunner across the 45 to the 48-yard line. What a carry that time by Daniel Kerr.
Yeah, and you have a guy coming in that has got carries tonight in the backfield as a running back, and he runs hard. It looks him and Nate Friesen very similar in their running styles. But when you bring a quarterback in that has also played tailback, just a lot of things you can do if you're the Southeast offense.
13 yards by Daniel Kerr on that carry. Out to the 47-yard line for Southeast of Saline. Straight up the gut. Here comes Kerr again across the 50, and he'll get 5 on 1st down. Brought down, went from 47 to 47. We'll call it a gain of 6.
And that might have been the biggest play that's been ran up the middle so far. We never saw Luke able to really break it free up the middle except for close in the goal line when he just had to get 1 or 2 yards for a touchdown. So a great job by this offensive line.
2nd down and 4 into Roadrunner territory at the 47-yard line. Kerr barking out signals. Now they turn. They look towards the sideline. He'll come up and call the play. Friesen directly behind him. They give it to Nate. Friesen working through, gets across the line of scrimmage inside the 45 and brought down at the 44. Gain of 3.
Yeah, really, once again, the Chaparral defense doing a good job on Nate Friesen. I mean, they've been doing a good job, most of them all night, but when you look at the stat sheets, he's still over 100 yards.
Yep, right now straddling 100, 22 carries, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Also has a touchdown in the passing game.
They keep feeding him the football. You're going to run out of room over there on your sheet.
Southeast throttling back the turbo here, taking the clock down. Play clock now at 5. They snap it. Kerr fakes it to Friesen. Now he brings it through. Bouncing off tackler, still on his feet, still working. Gets down to the 37. And Daniel Kerr brought down awkwardly there at the 37-yard line. That was a gain of 10.
Yeah, Daniel's going to... Luke looked like he was done for the night, had the rain jacket on, getting warm, and now he's got to check back into the game. So hopefully... You know, in a game like this, we talked about Southeast been real fortunate this year. Been pretty healthy all year. Had Murray out for 1 game, but other than that, really everything's
Nathan Weller
been going.
a little bit.
Yeah, Nathan Weller.
Yep, hopefully Daniel is okay. Had a gain of 10 there. Gebhardt back in. Luke will turn, hand it off to Friesen. Friesen straight ahead. Will get the 35-yard line after a gain of 2.
And they keep a sustained drive together here like they have been, you know, all of the third quarter. I mean, they're going to run more plays in this second half than in some games combined that this starting offense has ran all year.
It's a glorified game of keep away here in the second half. I mean, that's the only way to really define it. Play clock down to 10. Southeast really not in any hurry here, as the game clock now inside 5.5 minutes. 2nd down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Pitch out to Friesen. He angles off to the left-hand side, has a crease, and he's going to score. Made the cut at the 25, and then saw nothing but end zone as Nate Friesen has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. This one comes from 34 yards away.
Yeah, and a great job out there. The offensive line got sealed off on that left side. Landon Allen led the way. Michael Murray with a great block over there. And Nate Friesen just doing what number 3 does. As soon as he gets to the second level, turns on the jets and is gone for a touchdown.
Man, he is fun when he gets out in the open field. There is not a lot that holds him back. Gebhardt on now for the 2-point conversion. And it's going to end up with Friesen punching it in for 2. 5:17 left to go here in the game. Southeast of Saline puts another 8 points on. They lead at 50-14 as you listen to it here on KINA.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See me, Kelly Kitchener, at our brand new location, 1809 South Ohio in Salina.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Southeast of Saline all the way down the field. Friesen on a 34-yard touchdown run. He also got the 2-point conversion. 50-14 now the score, as we are just outside of the 5-minute mark left to go in this game. Now your Phillips Seed Farm scoring play by Nate Friesen, who now has 3 touchdowns in this game, 2 in the rushing game, 1 in the receiving game for Nate Friesen tonight. He's had a pretty good couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And he's really had, you can go, yeah, he's had a great last couple of weeks, but Nate Friesen has had a phenomenal first year at starting running back.
Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd on the ground. This one's going to stay right in the middle of the field. Roadrunners picking it up. Kyler Smith trying to do something with it, and he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line.
Like we said, the winner of this game, barring any miracles, will be Southeast. Will play the winner of the Russell Broncos and Hoisington Cardinals game, which last update still 28-22 Hoisington, 10 minutes to go.
And good news, Daniel Kerr is out playing defense.
That might be the best news of the night.
Yeah, he is good to go, it appears. Luke Gebhardt was over here getting a helmet adjustment. So Tucker Thaxton in there playing safety right now for Luke. 5:09 left to go, 50-14. Southeast of Saline leading this one over the Roadrunners of Chaparral. Here's Austin Clark taking it straight ahead, and he will get to the 29-yard line on a gain of 4.
And our first final of the night in the 2A side of the round of 16, Sabetha moves on with a big victory over Riley County, 48-13.
Okay. Into the round of 8.
Sabetha will now meet up with Caney Valley next weekend.
Caney Valley was the only 2A team to advance last night, as there was just one 2A game going on in the state of Kansas on Thursday night. Second down and 6 here. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side for the Roadrunners. Little bubble screen out. It's going to be caught by Jack Francis. Francis will bring it out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And a gain of 4.
Another update out of Class 2A. Kingman and Ellsworth meeting tonight. A battle of one loss between two teams. Kingman handily over Ellsworth, 33-6 with 10 minutes to go.
Okay. Things starting to come together, as they say. From the 33-yard line, 3rd down and 2. Aiden Guy on the carry, and he is going to be short by a yard. 4th and 1 coming up for Chaparral.
See if this Southeast defense can come up with one more stand. That would about do it with the way they've been holding on to the football in this second half.
4th and short here. They'll load up 3 wide receivers along with Aiden Guy in tight as a tight end. Clark has been running away from this, and he will do it again, and he is right at the sticks here at the 35-yard line. Looks like he's going to have it, though, by a length of a football as they move the chains with 3:14 left to go. So Clark on a 2-yarder there. His 14th carry of the night, 67 yards now for the senior quarterback from Chaparral.
Another final in Class 2A. Nemaha Central continues to roll, 36-7 win over Rossville.
So there will be a new champion in Class 2A. Rossville has held that crown the last couple of years. First down and 10 here, under 3 minutes left to go for Chaparral. Here's a pick. Mac Chambers, he might make a house call here, has Clark to beat. Chambers going to roll off to the left-hand side and ran out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Second interception of the night, this time by middle linebacker Mac Chambers.
And Tyler, Mac Chambers down there playing that just like a defensive back from his middle linebacker position.
Tell you what, he looks and moves a lot bigger, but he read that perfectly, and you're absolutely right. He looked like a cornerback, came up, jumped the route, and just took that ball away. Stumbled a little bit, or I think you're right, he would have been in the end zone.
Tyler, we've seen those linebackers, along with the defensive line, bring the house and really put on a ton of pressure all night long. Was it one of those plays where Chambers might have shown blitz and then dropped off into coverage that fooled Clark?
Yeah, it was. And again, he dropped out. Southeast disguised it beautifully, and at the end of the day, just never saw him there.
And again, a lack of offensive plays here in the second half for the Roadrunners as wholesale substitutions now by Southeast of Saline. The Trojans can feel it that they're going to keep the football season rolling on here now into middle of February, or excuse me, November, February. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Gannon Jacobson gives it off to Grady Gebhardt. Gebhardt trying to drag a couple of Roadrunners with him as they are in the can-equipped red zone. Thankful of Mac Chambers' interception. Gebhardt will take it to the 13 on a gain of 2.
And we saw Grady Gebhardt pretty heavily in the Lions game earlier in the year where he went over the century mark on
119 yards,
9 carries,
3 touchdowns.
Pretty good stat average to have.
13-yard line is the line of scrimmage for Southeast of Saline. 2 minutes left to play. Jacobson asking for the snap. He'll get it. Rolling off to the left-hand side is Gebhardt again, and he will be brought down at the 10.
Once again, nothing really going up the middle regardless of who's in there, but they're unable to contain the speed on the outside of this Southeast team all year.
All right, now for Southeast, it's a matter of just getting rid of this clock and putting this one to bed. 1:25 left to go. Still 15 seconds left on the play clock. 50-14, Trojans. Jacobson now gives the play to his offensive line, has Gebhardt right behind him. Jacobson turns, gives it to Grady again. He runs right into the back of the offensive line, now backs out, sidesteps a Roadrunner, spins away, still working, breaks another tackle at the line of scrimmage, trying to get in, and he's going to be 1 yard shy. A electric 10-yard run by Grady Gebhardt.
And that might have been the most exciting run of the night, Tyler, right in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, he made 3 or 4 cuts, but it all starts with not giving up on the play. A lot of guys go down there, not Grady.
Under a minute left to go. Southeast of Saline now. Looks like they're going to go into victory formation. 45 seconds on the clock. They have it down at the 1, and they're going to take one more snap. Play clock down to 5. Gannon Jacobson ducks under center, and he's going to take a knee, and that'll do it. Southeast of Saline gets the victory. They will move on after a 50-14 victory over the Chaparral Roadrunners. Southeast of Saline now 10-0 on the season. Chaparral will drop down to 7-2 after another really good football campaign for the Roadrunners. Southeast of Saline will advance. Postgame is up next. It's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. We'll have comments on the field from Coach Gebhardt. We'll have stats of this game brought to you by Citizen State Bank in downtown Gypsum and a Vernon Jewelers gem of the game. It's all coming up. 50-14, Trojans win it. Postgame from Commercial Tires starts now on KINA.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9 in Saline.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Everyone at Vernon Jewelers would like to thank you for coming to the store and celebrating the 138th anniversary. They want to remind you the holiday season isn't far away. Shop now and get these holiday gift ideas for that special someone or special occasion. They can custom order pieces and also do custom engraving. The service shop is ready to serve you and take care of anything you might need, from repairing to cleaning. Vernon Jewelers, downtown Salina, where it's the little things that matter since 1884.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Time for the Trojan postgame show on KINA Sports. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan football on KINA.
Back here in postgame, it's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. Southeast of Saline wins it 50-14, and our bracket of 8 is complete for next Friday night. We'll go over that, as we are just awaiting one more game to get over so we can set that bracket for you. 50-14, our final score. Probably the biggest glaring difference in this game came in the second half. Southeast of Saline started out with the football, and they pretty much just took the air out of everything for the Roadrunners, and it was all play count. In the second half alone, Southeast of Saline ran 45 offensive plays. Chaparral had just 10. Southeast of Saline doing this on their way to a 50-14 victory, now 10-0 on the season for the Trojans. As we await the comments of head coach Mitch Gebhardt talking to his team right now, Tyler Henry will have that here momentarily. Southeast, over 400 yards of offense yet again here tonight, while holding their opponents to right around 100 yards. That's Chaparral unofficially for 126 yards of offense. And it was the Nate Friesen show in the second half, along with Luke Gebhardt. Friesen all in all tonight, 24 carries, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, he had 3 catches in the passing game, 37 yards and a touchdown. And Southeast of Saline getting some hardware right now as they get yet another trophy for the trophy room. And Southeast of Saline just piling up the awards. And that's one of the fun things about high school football, Russ. When you go through and you have a really long season like this and you're successful, you do play a lot of games, but you get a little piece of something along the way every game, don't you?
Yeah, and they've been just stacking it up the last few years. Just a phenomenal job by this whole team. Just you're not done yet.
Tyler Henry, you got the head coach who was part of this. What are his comments?
Yes, sir, Coach. 50-14, the final score. Let's start in the first half. You guys only allow 1 offensive touchdown. I mean, your defense has been putting it out there for you all year, but what would you like from that unit in the first half?
You know, I thought we started well. I don't think we finished the first half as well as I would like to. I think we had a letdown on defense. They had a nice drive. I mean, Chaparral's a good football team. They were 8-1 coming into tonight, and they're an awful good football team. But I felt like we had a little letdown at halftime, and then to have a 92-yard drive, we had a good. Michael had a great return there, and then we get the penalty, and we're clear back there on the 8-yard line or whatever it was, and then 92-yard drive. That's a big confidence booster. It had to make the kids feel good.
We talk about it a lot. You guys take the wins out of team sales early in games. I mean, again, your defense gets the stop, but you put together a couple really good drives in that first half. Offensively, I mean, what did you like about that start specifically?
The start in the first half, I felt like we did a good job of getting the ball downfield. I thought we had a good combination of pass and run. We ran several different formations and things like that to see where they'd line up, and I felt like we took good advantage of what they were giving us.
You guys take a lead into the second half, and you really start to pour it on the ground game. I mean, as far as what you saw on the ground in the second half, you guys were just ruthlessly efficient, run down a lot of clock.
And there was a lot of guys that ran the football tonight. We had probably 4 or 5 guys in there. We had a little different package in there that we haven't ran all year that we threw in there a couple different times. And, I felt like our guys were running hard, but I say this every week, and I know you guys laugh at me, but the offensive, it starts with the offensive line. If those guys aren't getting the blocks up front, we don't get downfield. And I think as we've continued to progress throughout this season, I really feel like our guys downfield have been blocking better also.
You also talk a lot about trying to put together the complete effort, offense, defense, special teams for a full 48 minutes. I mean, do you feel like you guys came a little bit closer to that this week?
Well, I wish I did, yeah. but I really feel like we had a little bit of a letdown there right as the second half was coming to an end. We came out with a lot of fire, and we scored some points and things like that, and I felt like maybe we didn't have the fire there to finish the second half, but I felt like we came out of the locker room there to start the second half, and we did.
Sure. Last thing for you here, Coach. Only 8 teams left in the state next week. How excited are you guys to be moving on?
That's what we do this for. I mean, that's what we're working for. The kids are excited about that, and we don't talk about it a lot, but we do talk about it some. But we got to get ready to go 1-0 for next week.
Sounds good. Well, congrats on going 1-0, and good luck in the quarterfinals.
All right, thank you.
All right, Devin, back to you.
Mitch Gebhardt on the field along with Tyler Henry. That interview brought to you by Frisbee Construction on a victorious night for Southeast of Saline. 50-14, Trojans win. We'll be back with a final check of stats, also a final check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. It's coming up here in postgame after a Trojan victory on KINA.